Hey guys, happy Tuesday, happy game day. We have another game today. I believe the Aces played today. Um, sorry guys, if I'm not mistaken, Players Club will be covering that. I think Tony is going live today. Gummy he went live earlier. He had a great show. He broke it all down how he feel and stuff like that. And I really needed Chicago to get together this year so I could troll him about the Bears. But I can't even do that because nobody over there want to act right. You know what I'm saying? When we get up into the football season. But he had a great show. He expressed how he felt. And he invited great people on the panel. Kudos to all the crew that came on his panel today. Because one thing about Bro Cloud, when he passionate on something and he feels a certain way, you'll hear him speak on certain things. So today, I was thinking about it last night, but I had to do that 10 to 5 a.m., you know what I'm saying? Then Casey had speech, so I had to leave Gummy show a little bit early. But guys, I know as a fan, I done had enough. So I had to call this meeting because we all have had enough. We've all been seeing this year after year, but this year right here is worse, right? And so we need to see some changes. So I feel like the same way that we did the CBA over our platforms, over social media, with my artwork and all that, it's the same way that I'm getting ready to have to do. Um, these crazy situations. What I do love, and I'm seeing too that all across social medias. Well, I'm not on Twitter, but I do know from Threads to TikTok and IG, all of them are expressing how they feel, especially on Threads. Everybody's seeing it, they reposting, so everybody trying to figure out what else they can do to to move in motion. And listen, there are ways and things that can be done to make things follow through and move in motion. So I want to bring Jamie Foxx into this. Jamie, yeah, kudos to Jamie when he did this, but this was something personal, and what they did during the film that they were shooting. And hey, Miss Steve, you're welcome to come up if you want to. Um, it was so funny yesterday, guys, because Keisha was, we was watching the Dream game, and I kept posting. Um, oh, I copied it, Miss D. I kept posting Isaiah 54:17, right? And she is so hilarious. She was like, it's serious when when we got to put the word in the chat. Boy, she don't even know how much like she really made my day, guys, just by saying that. Because Miss T, I don't know what it's doing. Hold on, girl. Hold on, guys. I'm acting like I can't see or something. I'm trying to put. Okay, let me copy it again, Miss D. But she just okay, copy. Maybe I uncopied it. She just made my day, guys, because oh, am I not hitting it right? Okay, there we go. I was like, am I? I need to wake up for real. Okay, I put the link in there. So yeah, she was like, it's serious when you got to put the scripture in there, and I don't know how many times I put that Isaiah 54:17 up in that chat, but I had to. And sometimes you never know how God wants you to do and be obedient with certain things, right? Because I'm like, we're seeing this over and over again, and I mean, there are all great, beautiful scriptures out there. Don't get me wrong, okay? That this Isaiah 54:17, I'm telling you, I have to put it over the dream because we're seeing crazy stuff going on, and we want some good basketball this year, but we can't even enjoy the good basketball for the drama, um, um, for the drama, for the fights and everything. Um, where Miss D go? Is that Jacob? Jacob, that's you?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Oh, is that your new boo? Who is that on your screen? I can't see.
That's Kiki.
Oh,
That's Kiki. very often.
Oh, my bad.
You
Okay, man,
good?
I see you dropped off. Yeah, so we can't even enjoy our games with all these shenanigans going on. So I'm getting ready to bring some stuff. I'm getting ready to read some things, guys. We're gonna touch on that. I got some stuff I pulled up about Miller, Angel, and stuff like that. So we're gonna get into all of this stuff because people are posting receipts. They doing everything they can do. But this all goes back to this all go back to the organization from day one. They've allowed this to happen so long, and I'm just praying that nobody gets hurt in the midst. And I think that Fever game yesterday, I didn't watch it. I seen clips because it's too much. It's too much when you watch certain teams, and so I have to take a breather from it. Plus, I had to work too. So we'll get into all of that stuff. But first, let me I TW. I saw the clips, but uh it was crazy. It's just okay. We're gonna get into all of that. I want to hear everybody's opinion about that, but we got to figure out what else we can do, right? So the question is, and it's not the question, we have the answer because we know what it is, but are the WNBA referees targeting players, right? Players and fans sometimes feel that certain athletes receive more technical fouls than others, quicker whistles for emotional reactions, different standards for physical play, and increased scrutiny because of their popularity or public image. We've seen that with players like Angel Reese, Kenny Carter, Camila Cardoso. There seemed to be something, even we're going to take it back, guys, to I'm gonna pull that up too. When PB5 spoke on the black players playing, period, what she said coming from her mouth, and then on top of that, she get into the league. They treating her okay, but not like they would another player that they want to be their great goat, right? So, but however, proving it, you have to prove it. Well, guess what, guys? The proof is out there. You can say allegedly, we'll say allegedly to make them feel better, but we know what we see. We know what's being reposted. It's so bad that the people that are posting are doing the close-ups over and over and over again. You can't, when you have a paper trail, you cannot try to erase it. But this is something that the WNBA organization have been doing for decades. They've been hiding stuff that they don't want to talk about. And we can take it back to the Candace Wiggins stuff. They didn't even address it, guys. They didn't even research it. They didn't even investigate. They didn't even talk about it. They just brushed it off. What they did was have some popular players go up there and speak out. But those popular players could only speak out for their experience. If they didn't see it and they weren't in that situation, they can't speak on it. They only can speak on what they know. And that was the only thing they did for that situation. We've seen various situations where we have coaches against players, players against players. But now it's like we're watching everything in one. We're watching boxing, wrestling. I mean, bullying. I mean, allegedly it's been bullying going on or whatever. So let's talk about it. What does it mean when players are bullying other players on the court? Trash talking, trash talking and chirping, that's normal. Now you get out the way and call somebody out their characters and talking about the color of their skin. That's different. That's a whole different level. But the chirping, that's cool. The physical play beyond normal competition. We know the difference. If it wasn't, they wouldn't have flagrant one, flagrant two, or you get kicked out of a game. If it was just regular physical play. So there goes some receipts right there. We're seeing those receipts. Trying to um trying to intimidate players. Okay, we see that. Social exclusion within teams off the court, social media criticism, public comments and interviews, veteran versus rookie tensions, fan driven harassment that spills onto players, the challenge for black women athletes. Many black women athletes have discussed how stereotypes can affect public perception, being labeled aggressive when showing emotion, having competitive interpreted as very different, facing harsher criticism from confidence or leadership, carrying expectations to both strong and constantly composed. This can make conversation about officiating and behavior and conflict more complicated because of race, gender, and public narratives sometimes become part of the discussion, right? So healthy competition versus bullying. Competition becomes concerning when a player is repeatedly singled out, harassment continues off the court, teammates isolate the player. Personal attacks replace basketball criticism. Strong defense, physical play, rivalries, trash talk are normal parts of professional basketball, right? The line is crossed when behavior becomes personal and abusive or harmful to a player's well being. Period. Right? So we go into um do we do that at the end? Should I do that at the end? I'll come back to it on what the WNBA needs to do to fix this. So I'll come back to that part. But Miss D and Jacob, did y'all have anything y'all want to say what I discussed so far? What's up, TW, She Wiz, and Felicia?
Mid D, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to say this, and everybody already knew this. The ref are trash. Fire Tyler Marsh. He's garbage. Free Camilla and free Gabriella Hawkes. That's all I got to say.
Well, yes, Tyler's not a good coach, but it's not Tyler. We all know the Sky is far as
Terrible
organization,
organization.
right? But that's just here and there. But far as what you said, ADP, um, what you just said was happening. As far as the fouls call has been happening since Angel been in the league. But far as the alienation from her teammates has been happening with her on the Sky, her first 2 year or year and a half. But she has better teammates. As far as they know her worth. They not you know isolating her. But once again, unfortunately, the refs are targeting her because it seems like they have an agenda. They follow some orders. Seem like from the
You know, I
league.
turn Wi-Fi on in the airplane.
So that's why Jonathan,
Oh,
your
okay.
mic hot. Your mic hot. Yeah. So no, I was gonna say so she's still dealing with the referees. They still try to target her, but as far as the teammates, that part is getting better. And of course the team is better and the organization is a little bit better. So that's what I want to say.
Yeah, we can really get into it because it's too much, and we have to figure out. We have these platforms and social medias, and I see everybody participating. It's all on on all the social medias. What in the world? Jason is having his exercise party now. It's all kinds of threads, and I'm mostly on threads and stuff. So they're reclipping, they're showing, they're doing petitions, they're doing whatever they can do. And then on top of that, guys, if they're not even paying attention to the coaches that are submitting, the coaches shouldn't even have to tell us that, but they do. You know what I'm saying? Becky said she did it. Tyler Moore said he did it. Carl saying he did it. They sending in the tape. I got some for Carl. I got some for you in the corner over here. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit later. I don't want this to be the main thing about about Carson Mesco. I want us to figure out ways where we can do something because I pretty much done had enough. And when, like Keisha said, when Momo, calm down. When you have to put that word up in the chat, it's real serious. But yeah, Miss D, I agree with everything you and Jacob are saying. It's definitely the W gonna have to figure out something. They can't just sit back and just try to because they're playing the players and stuff, they want to get their money in, and they choose to allow certain things. It's to the point somebody could get hurt, not just hurt physical, mentally too. And so we're going to get into all of that. Hey, AL 504, Hey Pretty, hey Van. I already said hate about the she weird. But yeah, so we're gonna get into it. But first, guys, hey, live, laugh, and love. I gotta tell you, I gotta play this because Jamie used this in a and it was things going on. He used this during a film that they were doing. So this is that scripture I keep putting in there. Yep, I sure do. I gotta take you back. If you don't agree, it's okay. Cover your ears or whatever. This is coming from me and my perspective. I'm not up here trying to persuade anyone to change what they believe in. I'm just going by what I believe in and what I use and what I know these players believe in as well. Angel and Miller and Ken and other players, they are believers, or whatever. So I'm gonna play this because this sets volume. And when we could do battle so many different ways, right? We can. But for me to not be up here like lashing out, like going to, man, shoot, 1,000-degree weather on the WNBA organization and stuff like that. I chose to react another way. Far as I'm still gonna bring my artwork. I'm still gonna get on the podcast and stuff and express how I feel. But sometimes in life, when it's a situation like this, the only one I know that can fight the battle and we can make it through is God for me. So I'm gonna play our boy Jamie. This song sets the room. This is definitely one of Fred Hammond's song. I don't own the rights to this song, but Jamie did this on an award show. So I'm gonna play this little snippet. It's not that long, and then we're gonna get into more of the nitty gritty. Jonathan, once I play this, I'll let you speak on what I spoke about so far.
Quentin would play music in between some of the scenes, and the music we chose that day when that day happened was "No Weapons Formed Against Me Shall Prosper." It won't work. No weapons formed against me.
And guys, they may if you guys watch this on the playback, they may have me take that part out. So just remember, y'all see his picture, y'all can go back and watch it. But this is what the weapons are gonna form, and we're seeing all of that against the teams and the players and stuff. But he's not gonna, he got your back. So I wanted to play that because that's the one I use. That's one of Angel Reese's, I ain't gonna say favorite, but that's one she likes to use a lot. So yeah, right. Nobody look. I remember Jamie on the show. You know what I'm saying? Always singing, but when he blew like that, it hits different, and definitely now since he experienced what he went through, it definitely his music is definitely hitting different from me. But that's for anybody like you going through stuff. But that's what I was putting in the chat yesterday. Yesterday, I don't even know how many times, guys, but I was putting it in there. I was lighting it up. but yeah. So Jonathan, how do you feel about so far about what you're seeing as far as do you believe like that the WNBA organization have been letting this go on for too long?
It is ADP. First of all, what's up to you, Jacob and Misty? What's up?
What's good?
And what's up to the chat? Okay, second, to answer your question, ADP, it has gone way too far. All this stuff that's going on with the WNBA, these referees just letting these people target, bully, and uh, physically damage Angel, hacking Angel physically, like, and I mean over physically smacking her around physically. It's gone too far to the point. I was, and mind you, I'm at the Atlanta airport. I'm waiting to catch my flight back home, to Houston. Um, I went to the game last night, and I'm going to tell you right now, I did not like what I saw with the officials. I was looking at Angel from the stands the whole time. She had her eyes closed. She had, she was she had her head up in the sky, with her eyes closed, with all kinds of frustration. Like she she really wanted to like snap, like crash out, but she had to hold it in because if she did not hold it in, it would have helped her haters. There's prove their point about her. And but even if she did crash out, it still didn't. It still to me wouldn't prove their point because all they do is talk negative and make lies about her anyway. So at the end of the day, her crashing out still doesn't mean that their points are valid. But I'm gonna tell you this: if you have to always allow hacks, falls on a player to get them mad, then they're not exactly who you claim that person to be. You making up them lies and now then paying someone to hurt that person that you hate. That just shows the person you are. And I'm gonna tell you, it's gone too far with the hacks on Angel that I had to make send an email to the WNBA and report them referees. It's been too much going on. It's gone to the point that if they don't start being fair, somebody's gonna decide to. There's gonna be a lot of people that have nothing to lose, and they're just gonna decide to do the unthinkable. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I don't know how to say this, but I'm just gonna say malice to the palate, malice at the palace 2.0. That's all I can. That's all I'm gonna say. Is that girl? Honestly, if Angel Reese had run Artest mentality, not only she'll still be hated, but at least she wouldn't have nobody worry about nobody messing with her, hacking her, or refs. Because Run Artest, when he was playing, oh, he wasn't being bullied. He was the bully. He got a championship and everything. He earned respect with his rough gameplay, rebounds, assists. Him and Rodman earned their respect and let these players know, like, y'all not gonna do us any kind of way. If Angel builds that mentality, they'll eventually stop because we're not gonna stop reporting refs for allowing these players to like hit her and attack her. The game was so disgraceful, and we was winning almost by 30 points. The second half, it just went downhill because the referees just was like, okay, you know what, they up too dang high. We gotta slow this down. And the first thing we gotta do is slow down Angel. We gotta put her in foul trouble. We can't let her get a lot of rebounds. We gotta allow these players to do what they want illegally. So Angel will, check out early, which almost succeeded because she only had 11 points and 9 rebounds. That's not bad, but we know Angel can play better than that. I don't think she really had a good game. Um, and it's because she let the whole thing, get into her head, and it just messed up because she couldn't get her layups in. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't play her hard defense because she couldn't play hard defense on Izzy like she wanted to, because she's concerned that they'll call fouls on her. Now it's like I just want God watches everything. That's all.
He sure do, and he gonna have the final say. God do watch everything. He gonna have the final say because he don't play about his children. Period. And I'm gonna say this. I don't know what the world wants Angel to do. I don't care if Angel don't play her best game. She is going through hell and back, and we are fighting for her. And the organization is not doing anything about it. So yes, she's gonna go out there and may not have one of her best games, but daggone it, she been have one heck of a year. Let's not get that twisted, right? So this is where it irks me, guys. If you had anybody that had mental health, if you dealt with anybody that did it undercover or whatever the case may be, you have no idea what these young women are going through. It's bigger than that. They are tearing our players apart with mental abuse, physical, and everything else added to it. and they're sitting here watching it. They're seeing the same thing we're seeing. There's no hiding it. The path, the receipts are dropping. How many times do these players have to speak out? How many times do these players have to hear they need to shut up and put up and keep it moving, or they need to block it out of their head? You cannot block mental health out of your head. You cannot block the attack on your mind out of the way. Even though you have a job to do, you need help. They are beating these women up, whether they realize how bad or not. And what irks me is they sit there and they have their families of their own, but they want you to treat them right as well. That's what's starting to bother me with all of this. We're seeing the players breaking down constantly year after year. And for some reason, they have a target on Teaspoon, Kennedy Carter, Camila Cardoso, and Angel Reese mainly. For some reason, no other players get it like they get it. It's an agenda. Somebody is allowing this to happen. They put it in. They already set it up. Whoever, I don't know. Who's pulling it? I don't know. Jonathan, sound mic for me. What I'm saying is they're continue to allow this to happen, and you cannot wait till a player gets hurt or they decide that they no longer want to be on this earth. What are you going to do then? You have those little crazy little simple sympathy letters to the family. Nobody want to hear all that. When you have these players under your wing, you are in charge of making sure they are treated equal all across the board. We're not saying, hey, refs, don't do your job, refs. Don't call nothing, but keep it the same on both ends, right? Hey, her active life. Hey, big girl. Hey, BD. Hey, Black BB. Who else in there? Hey, Van. But yeah, so we're tired of seeing this, guys. I mean, it has to be to the point it's enough. But Miss D and Jacob, what do you have to say on what Jonathan just said?
Do you want to go first?
Yes, go ahead.
You go first. I went first last time. You can go.
Oh, well, no, first, I was seeing Black said complain. You can go to the WNBA website and complain about the ref foul calls and kind of flood it and try to, so they'll feel our presence as fans. So I that's what all I want to say for right now.
The same way we fought for the players to get equal pay and all, well, not necessarily, I don't call it equal, but to pay the players what they're supposed to be paying the players. The same way it's different ways that you can protest, whether you protest through, social media, whether you have your signs up marching. This has to be a national call. And I'm quite sure now, just because we don't hear people speaking or saying anything doesn't mean they don't make movements. This is another thing where I talk about moving in silence. Not everything is meant for everybody to know, because when you bring a little bit out, what they do, try to tear it up, or they try to have a distraction. So when you come, you got to hit it right on the dagger. You can't be playing no games with it. So, yeah. Oh, her active life. I miss her active life. But I'm glad to see you back, her active. But yeah, so this is where we have continued to fight. Continue to put our foot on their neck. Don't stop. Sign the petitions if you can. Do your social medias. Write your comments constantly on our YouTube channels, on social media, because they reading them. Let me tell you, they got people. They're reading this stuff. But let's take it back to Angel Reese. Angel Reese is speaking out. And this is the time where she says she don't care. She take that fine. See, this is the problem. We see the signs. They've seen the signs, but they just keep brushing it off and brushing it off. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna get into a little bit how the Brazil fans feel about Camilla and what, baby? I don't know what he said. And all of that. So yes, baby. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna play this little clip from Angel.
Yeah, I got to agree with Big Dog there on his last
tough when you
comment.
talk to
It's been
officials
bad for a
and
long time.
I asked them, hey, we only shot 2 free throws. We only went to the free throw line twice up into the fourth quarter, and she tells me it's not her job. So I know it's frustrating because I know how hard we're battling inside. And I think that we came down and fought as hard as we could with what we had. And I just know we continue to grow in this. And I think it's the leaping step for us. And obviously we know we can compete with the best. But that has to be fixed. And I don't give a damn if I get fined because that's cheap. And I am tired of this shit. Because I've been nice and I've been humble with it, but I am tired of this shit. Yeah, I think we fought really hard. It's tough when you talk to officials and I ask them, hey, we only shot 2 free throws. We only went to the free throw line twice up into the fourth quarter, and she tells me it's not her job. So I know it's frustrating because I know how hard we're battling inside. And I think that we came down and fought as hard as we could with what we had. And I just know we continue to grow in this. And I think it's the leaping step for us. And obviously we know we can compete with the best. But that has to be fixed. And I don't give a damn if I get fined because that's cheap. And I am tired of this shit. Because I've been nice and I've been humble with it, but I am tired of this shit.
And I played that twice for a reason, guys. Okay, I played that twice for a reason, and this was in July of 2025. Okay, look, the season just pretty much out is what July almost ending, and you do get tired. This is not the first time, you know what I'm saying, that Angel has spoken out about this. Now it's to the point like a coach like Becky Hammond and Cheryl Reeves, like we don't care anymore if we get fined. Whatever. We're gonna say what we need to say. And then when I pulled up the numbers and when Becky was going off, she had every right to because it showed in the numbers the Aces was at the bottom for as how many calls that the Aces team got so far this year. I haven't went back and checked it since then, but I will be checking it again. Um, Angel Reese needs to stop telling those white people her goals. It doesn't matter if she AL 504. You know, it don't matter if look if Angel tells them or not, they still gonna come at her. It's like you danged if you do, you danged if you don't. And you have to wonder what is it that they don't like about Angel that bad to just not just to hate her or dislike her or always got her name in their mouth. You always have to wonder what is it. Well, guess what, guys? Sometimes you don't have to do nothing to people. If you have that discernment, they know who Angel is. Angel know who she is. She's not to be played with. She has it in her. And what God gives you, no man can take that away. They can't take it away. That's why all the shenanigans and all the stuff that they're trying to do, it's not working out. And yes, she is entitled. She's human. So when they're coming at her, you know what I'm saying? And we saying not we, because I don't say that. Hold it together. You don't let them get to you. How many years? It's been Noah Art done came back, done had the rain, the sunshine, the tornadoes. How long, guys? I'm just saying, how long do you expect a player like that to keep taking it, especially when it's a form of abuse? No matter how they try to sugarcoat it, no matter how they try to cover it up and use the type of terms that they use, that's what it is. And if they don't know and understand the definition of what it is to be verbally abused, physically abused, look it up because Webster is one heck of a dictionary, okay? It really is. And targeting, that's another one. You know what targeting mean? Sometimes you got to take them back there. Sometimes you got to, you know what I'm saying, read them the right. Hey, y'all know me. I'm going for the research. I'm going for the definition. Miss me with we don't see that, or we don't see this happening, or we investigated. No, you didn't. Since when have you investigated something, especially when it comes to WNBA black players? Tell me that. Oh, we investigated and we came to this conclusion. Miss me with that. When the receipts are dropped and you try to sugarcoat and make it sound like something else like last year. No, you heard what they said. You probably were rooting for it behind the scenes when they were saying it. You heard it. A person is not going to sit up there and break down on TV at a game like that and trying to shoot the basketball and they're calling her names and just not break down, just stand there. No, she's not going to do that. Something had to be said, and those people that will come forth and heard it, the real people, it was, you know what I'm saying, it was true. But okay, her active life said her voice ADP. Let me tell you, the thing about it when it comes to a young lady like Angel Reese, he's built God built her for this. But even the ones that's built and strong, guys, they need inspiration too. They need motivation too. They need you to meet them halfway. Yes, she has a great village around her, but as supporting fans who believe in her, we need to be there for her too. Because guess what? We have nieces, nephews, daughters, family, aunties, everybody, the women, period. You don't never know if they're going through these certain things. Would you want your family members and stuff to go through what these young ladies are going through? And if you really want to run it back, especially with Mill, you know what Mill is up against. She's here on, you know what I'm saying? She's here. Have to keep up, make sure her visa, everything is straight. So tell me about this. If it's really not down to all that, why all of a sudden Miller coming back this season? She had to wait dealing with her visa and stuff. She ain't had to worry about that. Now all of a sudden she had to worry about that too. Let me tell you, anytime there is a situation, it always starts with the head. It don't start at the bottom, baby. It starts at the head. And what no. You want to use those? Okay, you can use them. Your coloring book is over there. You see? Hold on, guys. Mama, leave that air alone. You gonna have me in here freezing. Put that thing on 68. Here, Mama. Okay. You just want to use that sharpener.
Hey, ADP, can I say something?
Come on, Mama, come on. You can use me here on your paper. You ready? You can hold them. Go get your coloring book. They're not they're gel pens, okay? But go ahead. Use them on your drawing paper because I don't know where you put your coloring book, okay? I basically find all my little stash stuff, little stink gut. But okay, guys. Sorry about that. Well, I had to get casing straight. But let me see. What Webster doesn't have a definition. It just has a picture of Angel and Camilla. Right, big girl. Camilla is not frustrated with Chicago. She's frustrated from understand the difference. No, she's not. AC. It's bigger than that. It's a whole overall picture. We can't even sugarcoat that front office organization has to go. If they had different people in place, that'll be different, as far as the front office. It's nothing against any other players or nothing like that. I've been following Miller myself. I see when she drops certain things, AC. I've seen her talk about certain things. So when I say stuff about like the players, emotions and whatever the case may be, I make sure I drop receipts on that. I also make sure if I say it's just, you know what I'm saying, if it's just me and my personal opinion, it's all of it in one. Now they get a new organization, you know what I'm saying, AC, that know how to treat their players and stuff like that. Those players, you'll see a different reaction. Um, you'll see a different reaction, and you'll see a different team. That same team you see right now will be different with a new front office. You know what I'm saying? And it's not wrong with Chicago. Nothing wrong with Chicago. I can't look, AC. I can't even troll government because all the teams acting up. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm Washington Commanders. I can't even do all that because all this confusion going on. But she's definitely had enough. And sometimes a change of environment is good. But I'm gonna say this. I'm saying what I want to. I don't want to see her keep hurting AC. And we're seeing it up close. We're seeing it up close. She's speaking on it. And we can't even imagine what this young lady is dealing with behind closed doors, right? So it's a full-blown overall mental situation going on. So I get what you're saying, but it's nothing personal against the Chicago Sky as itself. It's who they have representing them. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that too. I don't know, you know what I'm saying. They've been doing this going on 2 years with Miller too. It's just now they don't really care. They want to put out the hit pieces and stuff. Hey Kappa and chat, why don't they trade Miller to Dallas or when you saying that other team? Kappa, be nice. You about to make my heart drop on that other team. But Miss D, it has nothing to do with me liking the team because I like the dream also, but will the cause change ADP? I understand that, and winning changes feelings, but it's not only the front office. It is. Let me tell you something. I taught pre-K for 12 and a half years. When those kids come they can go into different classrooms and act a different way if your environment is not set for them. Even as adults, and we grow up, there's a thing called discernment, right? We know when we go in certain rooms, something's not right. And although we may try to play to our best ability, that still doesn't mean that particular atmosphere doesn't have an effect on our mind, our body, our soul. Okay, period. So I get what you're saying. It's not in this situation. We're not talking about win or losing. We're talking about the mental health of the players. We're talking about what could be done because with this with the on court, because some of it is not plays. Some of that stuff is intentional. So um she is, but it's more than that. We can't just look at one picture. It's more than her just being out of there. Did she really want to go? No, she fought. What else do we want her to do? It was nothing left to do because I kept saying when a woman is tired and she done had enough, watch out. Something has to be done. No matter how we see it, Miller is tired. So put it like this, AC, whatever Miller is praying to God for, I pray that she gets it because it's heartbreaking to continue to see our players go through this. Do I care about a win and loss? I like to see the wins. I like to see it. Of course I do. But I will not take that over a person's mental health and their well-being. I will not take that for a win. Win me with taking care of the players. Win me with officiating the games fairly. Win me with being, we got a long fight. We've been fighting for years. As far as everything being equal, right? What Kappa say? Oh yeah, when he said about the trading to the other team, big girl. He said, I'm just asking. Yeah, because they don't have the only way they can make that right is if they do a trade to get some of those picks back because they don't have any. So we'll see what happens. The thing is, it's not the players that I'm worried about far as trusting. It's the organization because they always have a habit, a routine of doing these surprise things. But it's repetition. Miss D, Jacob, would you guys like to say something?
Yeah, like I said, complain to the offense as much as you can. Um, yeah, they try to sabotage her for the fouls, the technicals. She's not getting the fouls call. We just got to keep at it with the league because they got some. They doing something to certain players, Miller too, and so she's just getting that angel residue and the sky residue. She's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, but I want her to handle it how Angel handled it last year or year before last.
They two different people though, Miss D.
I know, but no, but Miller can get spicy now. I see
Oh
Miller.
no. I know. No, that's not what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and then you know what else she's up against too. She's over here.
Right.
So
Hey,
that's
Missy, I knew what you meant by that because I remember what happened a few years ago when Camilla did you know what.
Right. Right. She need to right. She pushed Big Four, but she also cussed out Alexa. So I need you to cuss out whoever said little choice words. Act like that was Alexa. That's all I need you to do. No.
Hey, wait. Mid
Hey, Cyprian.
ADP. Big dog's in the back.
Yeah, Big Dog. He said I should return. He gone, ain't he? I don't know if he's still there.
Man, I don't blame
Yeah,
him. He was
the
waiting for
Liberty,
like 20 minutes.
the Liberty should the Liberty. I like her with the Liberty. I look, she needs to be on a team with veterans.
yeah, Jake.
If
I
they
don't see
trade
her.
You know that teams like the Liberty got a veteran players. Teams like the Lee's got a veteran players and veteran coaches. Teams like the Aces got so those three teams, and maybe even Dallas because Dallas got a coach that would get on her and not be afraid to get on her. Sometimes she like to when you kind of get on her a little bit, she play a lot better. So like Dallas, Liberty, Aces, and Lynx are the four teams I think she should go to help her, give her that hump. They won't allow her to be
Yeah, it is, Kev. I see you guys in the
They already gonna do Angel Miller like they did Angel.
Hey,
They trying to.
Jackie.
They already did
They are.
Keisha.
They're definitely doing her like that.
Or they are. They already got hit pieces on her, and then of course
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's
so,
another thing, Miss D.
yeah.
I mean, how this is bigger than what people think. This is totally you have to put the game beside next. First is the player and the mental health. Then you put the game to it. If that player's mental health is not intact and they going through all of that, they're not going to get out there and be able to play their best game because mentally they are drained. I don't know, guys, a perfect example. I don't know about you, but when Mr. Bill be ready and you got the dish out, it's like you an ATM machine. When Mr. Bill come, he be coming the first of the month or sometime the third or however your mortgage or whatever you pay. He be coming in there and your head be spinning because you constantly dishing out. That's mental. So I'm just saying, I just use that as an example, guys. I know. But yeah. Miller coming to South Carolina. Ooh, no, she not. Real money. Girl, don't start nothing. Don't even start nothing. Tiffany Coach said Mercury. She said Mercury or Houston.
What about Portland?
AL 504. That's what they trying to do, but now they getting ready to mess around and find out. You know what kills me? People always want to hold their hands up and do the talk, but when it's trying to really throw down, you can't find nobody. Everybody running. Well, this time we not playing those games. We ain't running. We standing 10 toes down. We're gonna take up for these players. We're gonna continue to do this content. Social media blowing it up. We do whatever we got to do because, like I said, this is just it's beyond what we think. It's going. I mean, I'm just watching Miller, guys. I watched Miller yesterday. I'm gonna play this clip too as well with Miller, and I'm just like, Yes, Miss D. Miller is tough. Don't get it twisted because y'all think she quiet. She not saying
She
nothing.
tough, right? She tough.
You got you guys got to also realize Miller is from Brazil. You noticed that beginning of the season, she had all of a sudden she had an issue with her visa. All of a sudden, right? And not only that, they had already started the little hit pieces little by little. They didn't have her on the campaign when they were showing the flyer of the players. Then all of a sudden, when they decide that hey, we need something to make us look good, we're gonna start adding this up here to our campaign. We're gonna start saying once again that now we're building around her, and it's the same thing that Angel and Camilla been dealing with, where they get into games and stuff, and after a while, the bigs are not getting the ball, and so it's just a lot. But this is the icing of the cake, guys. This is what we got to be for real about and take into consideration. This is about our players' mental, and it is tearing them up. You know, and I talk to people, and I'm not a professional. I'm just a nurturer, and I listen to people. So I've been around special need. You know, my baby got special needs or whatever. Well, he has autism, and then I have some family dealings where I'm talking to them. You know, making sure they're okay and stuff like that. And you know, just no, don't use that. You know, different people. No, you can't use this. You gotta go get what in the world? You gotta go get something else. You better use your pillowcase that you already got in the scene. You want to play wash machine? Yeah. Okay, well, use your pillowcases and stuff. Um, but yeah, I hear people's stories. My daughter's bestie that she calls her sister, she deals with bipolar. So and you can see the signs, you can catch it. It's different types. If you also know that, what's that? Drew Barrymore. She has it. She deals with different stuff. I mean, you see different things with players as far as their mental and all that. So they don't really need all this extra on top of everything else. And I'm not gonna call no names on who I feel like that because, like I said, I'm not a professional. I'm just going by what the signs and stuff like that. But I remember AL 504. I don't know if it was last year. She was trying. Okay, Mama. What you want, Mama? This is the remote. No more. What you want? No, because every time I get this kind, you pick out all the strawberry candy. Look, don't pick out all the strawberry kind because that's my favorite. I can't. You know what? Here. Go ahead. But I'm gonna keep my. Save me some, Move. Don't take out all the strawberry. Save me some, okay? But yeah, so. This is definitely this situation is definitely the mental. We'll get into the rest because good grace, we can't even enjoy any games. So Miss D, far as the mental part, how much are the players supposed to take?
I don't know. Angel gonna go up a little bit. I don't want to see her get technical. Then they suspend you for the technicals and all that stuff. They're going to have to really have a sit down. Some of the players, they have to talk to Kathy. Of course, we're not going to know that, but I'm sure they're probably going to say we need a meeting with Kathy. Get whoever the player association president is. They need to talk to them. Like, look, we need a meeting with Kathy because this is not going to get it. So she need to do it like that and see how that work out for her. You know.
Mm-hmm. And Miss D, you know it's bad when the coaches don't. They ain't trying to take that smoke. They like, wait a minute. They keep trying to come at us and blame us. Let them know we sitting in the film. Look,
right.
We sitting in the film and stuff. We doing what we supposed to do on our part.
But where's the players? Who's the player? Where's Neck at? Neck is too busy crying like she won a championship, and Fee do what she
Hey,
do.
leave NECA alone. You don't know what NECA's going through.
I know that, but
NECA
NECA,
my girl.
NECA.
You don't know what
You went
NECA's
to the
going through.
you went to the Sparks knowing that you wouldn't barely go get the ball. I'm surprised that Kelsey Plum let you get the ball. I like Kelsey Plum, but
We ain't here to
but
talk.
anyway,
Don't be
no. I'm talking about the Players Club, the Players Association Club, whatever they are.
Look, she needs a break too.
Where are you at with the foul calls? Y'all sit there on the bench trying to feast on the bench with street clothes and NECA crying. So I need y'all to cry for Angel.
Wait a minute. Whoa. You can't do that on
Yes,
NECA.
I can.
I'm not gonna let you move.
I am and I did.
Well,
I do and I did and I will and I won't and I will and I won't.
That's that Detroit, everybody. I'm gonna say this for me because you know she gonna say what she want to say. Leave NECA alone.
And Fee, y'all supposed to be the y'all wanted to be the presidents of the association, Players Association. Now it's y'all time to step up and file a grievance. Not sit there with your mouth closed and crying about.
Hey, Miss D, you forgot about somebody. You forgot about Stewie. Somebody.
And
Is
Stewie
Brianna Stewart on that?
Right. And
Stewart
Stewie,
on that list?
all three of y'all. And Stewie missing free throws and losing bad games. You too, Stewie. No, I'm talking about now. I ain't talking about the CBA. That was preseason. I'm talking about now that you see how the referees are calling the game. I need y'all. That's what the players voted for y'all to be to speak up for them. So, but y'all being kind of soft.
Anyway, NECA, I'm very proud of you. I realize you're going through a lot.
No.
It wasn't.
No, we're not doing this, ADP. We're not letting you get off the hook because you like them. We're not doing that.
It's okay to like somebody. I like NECA.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
NECA's soft. I like NECA too. No, we're not.
We are doing that.
We're not doing that.
We're not gonna put down someone else's feelings for something.
We're not putting them down.
Let's tell you the truth. We're not putting on feelings. This is not about feelings. It's about facts. She need to speak up.
Well, you don't know what she's doing. You can't say if she is or not.
Who knows? Well, she
you can't go after other people, and then when we go after your people, you can't do that.
Wait. Okay. Guys, Jacob MSD is on the other side. They on that side.
MSL agree with us too.
And the north side is. Yeah, you can come up. The north side. Listen, guys. The north side.
Ain't no north side. Ain't no north side.
Y'all on the north side. I'm on the north side. And the north side. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Hold on.
What? What?
Ain't no north side or south side.
You on that south side.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? That people were telling us, oh, they want to be celebrated but not criticized. This is an example here.
Exactly. I'm not criticizing her to be mean. I don't have no beef with her as a player or as a person.
Oh, yeah, MSL, y'all can come up here because you see. No. Listen, guys, I don't have a problem with if it be 4 against 1 over here, because I can stand my ground. Because you know what ADP, you know what ADP do. Look, let me tell you what ADP do, and it works every time. A person can buy you everything. They can bring you whatever you want, but it's that heart. When you have the heart of the people, when you got the heart of the people,
and I'm not trying to be mean. Look, I don't dislike NECA. I'm talking about her. Look, they voted you to be their representative as a player organization, you know what I mean? But come on now. You see Angel.
Are we just calling out NECA or are we calling out everybody?
Look, hold on.
ADP. Agree and disagree.
No, hold on. ADP. Where is NECA, Stewie, and Fee doing speaking up, doing interviews, press conference? Where they at?
You don't know what they doing. They might be moving.
I said publicly. Don't have Angel do that publicly.
It don't have to be where you want it to.
ADP.
Hey, if Fee can say, "Oh, I want more physicality,"
exactly.
Man, you can step up and talk and call him out again. We're not doing this bullshit.
Right. She's right. Jacob. If she can talk about
we're not doing this.
Look,
absolutely.
Y'all myself. AC, get Miss D.
You know, he don't personal. You think I'm taking it personal. No, the stuff they need to speak on for, they don't. That's all I'm trying to say. But you speak
Okay,
on
you have your
that's
opinion,
all.
Miss D. Ain't nothing wrong with your
That's
opinion.
not opinion. It's a fact. Don't have Angel. Look, they're gonna have Angel suspended for cussing out the refs. They need to speak up right now because she will cuss out them refs, and I don't blame her.
Okay.
Okay.
If that's the way you feel, Miss D, over there on the south side, that's the way you feel, Miss D.
Oh, you on the south side by yourself? Because I think Tiffy agree with us.
And on the south side, I can be. Look, Miss D, I can be on the side by myself. You know what I'm saying? Okay, hey Tim.
Don't act tough. Don't act tough, ADP.
Look, I told you I go for the heart. I can sit up here and tell you about all of you guys and get you by the end of this show. But I'm not gonna do that because they be all in it. Look, guys, they be like, oh, ADP, she's such a hard person. She's so nurturing and stuff like that. They ain't seen that other side when I go to 10. They better be lucky the Lord got me. And I mean that.
But don't that just make you a woman or a black woman though, ADP?
I don't care what they call me. You know what? I can't stand them. I can't even stand when they say we low, middle class, and high class. Who are you to judge my class? I mean, period. I don't even like that.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I don't like titles. Don't title me because just because someone's not rich in money, don't mean they're not rich at all. You could be rich at heart. You could be rich with your gifts. People get it twisted. You know what I'm saying?
ADP.
But, yes, go ahead.
I've been listening and I'm going to still listen, but since y'all are talking about Angel, I presume I just wanted to give you a segue.
Hold on, MSL. Jackie said, I know. Jackie said, don't speak that. We got to be careful when we speak outside of our mouth too. That's negative because negative has a way in the atmosphere. Okay, go ahead, MSL. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a segue because I was listening to No Cap Space. They were talking about the big fight in Indiana. And then Andrew, the guy, the research reporter, he actually acknowledged when he was speaking that, but he was saying it in a wishy-washy kind of way that yes, the league, Kathy, embraced racism, and she actually acknowledged it and admitted it, which I know a lot of y'all know. And then he had even mentioned, about the election in 2024. He called it the culture wars, and how they leaned on that. And how they didn't run from it, and he thinks they encourage it. And every one of us, when we hear that, we always say, no. That was only a part of it. The part that we really had a problem with, which leans in, I guess, to what y'all are talking about, is you took one person and deified them and called them the hero, and she was actually the villain. And then you took another person and made her the villain when she was actually the hero, and then all you did was talk about the alleged hero, the deity, and say, oh, she's great, she's all time, this, that, and then you diss the other one or never talked about them, didn't promote them because you wanted nothing to do with them because they didn't play ball with you. And that's the part that they left out. And it's that legacy from 2024. They brought it up, and this had to do with Phoenix and Indiana, but they acknowledged the mistakes that the league has made that has now given Indiana, because basically what they were trying to say is, are they now openly embracing their, I forgot the term they use, but let's say bad girl image. Oh, so it's been silent in the media the last 2 years, but now some are going to now finally say, oh, well, because they all think that they're the nice people, and people like Angel and DeWanna Bonner and AT and people like that are the bad people. But it's that legacy from 2024, which I presume brought you guys here talking about the officiating. And I do have comments on NECA. I think that honestly, if you really run the numbers, the players could have actually gotten 40 to 45%, if not more. Because when you look at the income, and I won't get into it now, but if y'all want to talk about it another time, we could break down the income stream, but they could have asked for 40%. That's beside the fact that almost every legitimate sports league, the players share between 47% and 53% of gross revenue. That's literally every league. That's the standard you start from, right? It's kind of like if you work at McDonald's, they say, we're going to pay you this price. You don't go, oh, we're going to pay you less, because then you don't have a business if that's the case. So you pay the players what they're supposed to be paid, and then you work your way for that. So when they got that 20% shared income, I wasn't one of the people that were happy about it because I knew they could have got more. If you just take that TV deal, right, it was $2.2 billion for 11 years. If I forgot what it breaks down for each team, But if you take the revenue stream based off of 8,000 fans and a $50 ticket and the money that they're getting per team for the TV deal, it works out to $30 million, right? So if you just break that in half, right, that's $15 million. And right now, I think what they're paying per year is not close to that, right? I think it's what, $6 million a year, which brings an average of like $587,000 a year. And that's just two revenue streams, right? The national TV deal and what they make per team. And keep in mind, we have teams that are making 17, that are drawing 17, 18,000, 16,000 a game. That doesn't include jerseys. That doesn't include, you know, commission or food and things like that. That's just ticket prices and revenue. So, and they're about 13 revenue streams. So they could have paid them 40%, 30%, or even 50%. Even in the 70s, when the NBA didn't have an official revenue sharing agreement, reporters who did the investigation have found out that the league was being paid at 50%, even when they didn't have a revenue sharing agreement, which leads into what is the NBA doing with the WNBA, right? Before the CBA, it seemed like this, whether you want to call it a tax write-off, something they hated, something they didn't like, they weren't treating them properly and they weren't treating them fairly because they were making approximately what, 5 to 7% of gross income, which is literally chattel slavery. So now they brought it up to 20% and everyone's happy. And yes, ADP, it's better, it's great compared to what it was. But the reason why most people didn't realize what it wasn't, because they actually didn't crack the numbers and take a look at it. If they would have cracked the numbers and take a look at it, they would have seen. I'll give you another one, and then I'll let y'all comment or whatever y'all are talking about now. Take the NBA. You could do it in 5 different revenue metrics, but take the NBA. The NBA, they say, makes about $9 billion a year, right, in revenue. And they say the WNBA makes about $1 billion, right? So they love to crack jokes and say the WNBA only makes 10% of the NBA. Okay, fine. What's the average salary of the NBA, right? Like about $12 million a year, right? For the average NBA player. Okay, so why isn't the average salary for a WNBA player 1.2 million? Because if it was, then the revenue stream would be about 40% versus the 20% that they're getting now, because the average NBA player makes like $12 million a year. So any way you crack it, the women are still to this day not being paid the same, but everybody's happy because they certainly got an increase, 1, and 2, because people wanted to see basketball. And yes, we wanted to see basketball, but I think a lot of us real fans, I think most fans, we were willing to have a year go by if the women actually got 30, 40, 45%. And lastly, as I said on Blowcard's show earlier, all the sites that supported Caitlin Clark never supported the women. They supported the league. They never supported Unrivaled. They never supported Angel Reese. That should tell you something. Caitlin Clark is in bed with the league. She wasn't for the players or for the women. And those two things go hand in hand. And that's something that needs to come out. So while we want to talk about Caitlin Clark's attitude and how she may not be as good a basketball player as she was, we also need to talk about the inside dealings that the league did on her behalf that not only hurt the players, but are also hurting Angel Reese today, right now, down to the officiating.
Right, MSL. You are exactly right. Tiffy, you next.
Hey y'all.
Oh man. Oh,
Hey, Tiffy.
well, actually, MSL is in the middle between the south side and north side. I see where he coming from. The rest
What's
of them,
south side, north side?
I have to put them on the side because they always saying everybody on their side. Go ahead, Tiffy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whose side you on, Tiff? I don't know what y'all are talking about, but whose side?
It's really no sad. It's really no sad. It's just.
Oh, she mad that y'all not happy with NECA.
Yeah.
It's not about NECA. It's just about, look, you have to fight for your player. That's why they voted you to be the representative. There's no time for you to be quiet. You, Stewie, it's not just NECA. You, Stewie, and Fee. Where y'all at?
Well, to ADP's
Don't have the fans,
credit, if I could say this, Tiff, she is right in a certain sense where if you speak out on behalf of Angel publicly, then people can make the argument, oh, you are showing preferential treatment to a particular player. Now, to your argument, Miss D, I'm sure you're going to say, but yeah, Angel's a very, 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 very important player. And she, you can argue, helped get y'all that money, not the other girl. So why not come out and speak for her? But I'm not sure if NECA or Fee have that type of cojones, or maybe it's what ADP said, they work in stealth. What do you think, Tiff?
I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's two things that should be like a closer look should be at. I think mostly it's, the coaches, because again, like there's one thing, like the refs, yes, they try and control the game. They're attacking certain players, right? They're pushing certain agendas. But again, there are coaches who are on the officiating committee, such as Sandy Brondello, the New York Liberty coach, Stephanie White, and the list goes on, right? Who know exactly how Angel is going to be officiated, and some other players, right? So you really got to
good point.
You got to put on the coaches. They are exploiting this. They're exploiting this targeting to their benefit. Sandy Brondello is a fraud. That's why they cooked her bum ass out. Excuse me. That's why they cooked her, trash behind out of New York.
That. Hey, Tiffy, just say bum. Just say bum. We're not gonna get banned for saying anything like that. Just say it.
It's daytime. I gotta keep it demure. I gotta keep it.
No, Tiffy, just go off. Go off.
No, she good, Jacob. She got to. She not Tiffy.
Man, we gotta stop being soft on that. We gotta actually let it loose.
Well, it's a certain time they let loose, and that's
oh man, we're not doing this. Come on.
Sorry, Jacob. Sorry. I know he probably say, "Am I Auntie ADP?"
Oh man, fuck that.
Go ahead, Tiffy.
But Sandy Brondello is a fraud. She is unreliable. She is a snake. She's a dirty coach who coaches dirty players, and that's why they cooked her to the curb faster than they kicked Sloop to the curb. You think they was not answering Sloop's phone calls? Well, they disconnected Sandy's. They disconnected Sandy's phone calls because she does not know how to win playing clean basketball, period. And second coach that we need to be on for real is Carl Semesco. Because guess what? Even if the other coach is playing your players dirty, you as a coach, a head coach, have to lead the team and say, nah, you're not going to play my player like this. Your star players should not be advocating for themselves in the middle of the game. Take the technical. I'm starting to wonder if Carl Semesco needs some money.
Because Carl Semesco a bitch. We're not doing this.
I struggle every single game not to call.
Jacob, we can't do
No, ADP. I am tired of this shit. You stop defending him. You're not doing his job.
It's okay. Calm down. Take a deep breath. But we cannot.
Man, I'm tired of this.
I know, but I know you are.
I know, Jacob. Let him go off on him.
It's okay. It's okay. I know you want to go off, but it's a certain way we got it.
Oh, screw that daytime bullshit.
No, we not. We not gonna screw it, Jacob. Don't make me call your whole name, Jacob. We're not gonna do that.
We're not doing this.
Respectful. We're gonna be respectful, okay? Go ahead, Tim.
The time to crash out. Listen, after that, after he has one more game. He has one more game before I'm gonna give my verdict on him for good, because Carl Semesco is showing game after game that he's a punk. He's going to get played. He's not a quiet dude. He's a loser. That's why he lost in college all them years. That's why he's a first-round exit in college and a first-round exit in Atlanta. If he needs to practice in the mirror how to stick up for his players, and so be it. If he needs to take some singing lessons so he can get some more bass in his voice, then so be it. Because at the end of the day, you're putting all-stars all WNBA players' bodies on the line because you want to do paperwork. You want to do your homework. You take a homework away from the game. I don't like that. So I feel like, yes, we can blame the media, we can blame the WNBA, we can blame other players, but truthfully, it comes down to the coaches. They decide how you play the game. Are you going to play a clean game or are you going to play dirty? And if you see another coach playing dirty, you as the leader of your team, Carl Semesco, need to call out the coaches, call out the refs, call out whoever you got to call out, and protect your players.
And even like guys, I get it, but Tiffy too. Also, even if he wanted to do it like that, he still has certain rules he has to follow too at the same time. But yes, he should. Nothing you're saying is wrong, but maybe that's probably why he spoke out like like Marsh did and was saying, "Hey, look, guys, we sent in. You know what I'm saying? We sent in what we were supposed to send in. They leaving us on red." Both of them said the same thing. So if they're saying that, it's probably been going on like that in the past, unless it's one certain person. That's the only thing. You know
ADP, can I say something about that though?
I wanted to read Kappa said that Kappa said Carl is not Becky. Dreams fans are on Carl. Trust me. I can believe that because I've seen certain stuff, and I know he been listening to Tiff too, Kappa, because some of the stuff Tiff was saying or what he needs to do, he definitely started doing it in some of those games. So I know somebody listening on his team.
But ADP, can I say something in regards to that?
Yeah.
This is kind of like to Tiffy's question of, do you know who you have on your team? Yes, Angel is not as much as a headache as Caitlin Clark would be. Like putting Caitlin Clark on your team, like literally right down to the babysitter or whoever follows her, you'd probably, that's as finite as it goes. It's not like that with Angel, but there is certain things you have to understand. And I don't know if Angel sat down and discussed with them everything she's been through and what she's experienced, or they just were supposed to know. I don't know. And I could also see a part of Angel not wanting to be a burden to the team. Like, for example, she can argue, she can complain, and Tiffy did bring this up, but there's a point where she has to pull back because you don't want to be the new person that's a burden to the team, asking other people to do stuff that Tiff would say they should do, that they should already know how to do on their own. But saying all that, there's to what you were just talking about, ADP, there's a certain level of power that Angel does carry, and the team, I guess what Tiff and some of y'all are saying is, or Jacob, they better get off their Boy Scout tip. And whether it's people in the media they know, celebrities they know, reporters they know, you can always find people or PR companies that have people in certain places that can start this dialogue. What do you think the WNBA did when Caitlin came in the league? The reason why they said she was white Jesus was because they paid PR companies for the people they do in the media to talk about all this stuff. That wasn't because people believe that. If that was the case, she would have had a year like Olivia, right? You come in, there are no expectations. People go, okay, she's a good player. Let's see what happens. She plays well. People talk about it. That would have been her year. But that's not what happened. They said she's the greatest, she's the most popular. All those were lies. They just made all that stuff up because they hired PR companies to do it. So technically, the team could do it. Angel's team could do it because they have the money where they can just have people they know, friends, or pay people to just bring up the dialogue, whether it be on ESPN, on CBS News, on YouTube, Yahoo, whatever, and so forth like that. But they're not. They're playing it the straight way of trying to deal with the league. But the problem is you're already at the 16th game. Next thing you know, you'll be at the 25th game, and the season will be more than half over. And what about wear and tear? What about Angel's money, right? Because if you mess with her scoring average, now you're talking about a difference between 300 something thousand a year and $1 million something a year that she makes all WNBA. Yeah, she makes 20, 30, whatever the hell it is, $15 million a year off the court. That's fine. But it's still money. It's still, you still mess with her bread on that particular, on that particular team. So there are ways that they can do this, which would get traction, because or they could just piggyback on all the positive information that's been coming out with Angel this past week or two, if they would have dropped dime and had a reporter, let's say Skip Bayless, say, is Angel Reese being improperly officiated? And then you show those clips of these last 2 Toronto games, there's not one person that wouldn't feel bad for her. Just like when all that stuff in Chicago went down, the media took the side of Angel because they knew Chicago was a dungeon organization. So yeah, so you don't have to speak out loud to the press or during the game, though I think he should do both, especially in the game. You get people who you know in the media, whether they friends or people you pay off via a PR company, to discuss these things in the zeitgeist so other people discuss it. So that way when we talk about it, because here's the thing, the league know they racist, right? Because they try to promote all these white women, whether they deserve it or not, right? They're trying to promote all these white women. I saw a list the other day that said the most marketable players in the WNBA, and the only black one they had was Angel. I swear to God. And most of the people they had weren't even stars. They were just people who they thought looked good. Like they had Sophie Cunningham. So if you got Sophie Cunningham there, where's DeJounte, right? Where's Lexi Hall, though she can't play and just got cut? You know, where's Chance Gray on LA, even though she can't play a lick, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is what they want to do. So me personally, I don't really understand it, but Atlanta needs to find a way to put this out in the zeitgeist, whether it be the coach, whether it be the GM. The GM can talk about it. No one's going to suspend him, but that's the old boys club. You're supposed to play ball, right? Renee can talk about it, but she's not, because Renee's also on TV. But Renee has that platform because she's on TV. Oh, you see on ESPN, you see on USA, you see on this, you see on that. Renee, guys, is the former player who's also partial owner of the team. I don't know what her percentage is, but they still call her partial owner, and she's on TV a lot, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What do y'all feel about that? ADP, Jacob, Tifko.
Even in contract, they still have to follow rules. And in contracts, it could say certain things. You can't talk about certain things. If you
That's fair.
Things, you will be terminated. So but it's always a way to do it, though. You see what I'm saying? MSL, it can be done. You just got to figure out the way you're gonna run it. You know, we good for code talking. You can put it that way. Well, we know what you're saying.
Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. That dude, Dan Dykick, right? The dude on Outkick, right? Technically, he doesn't work with the Indiana Fever. But all those Clarkie sites, when he came out and started trashing Clark, said he is essentially the mouthpiece of the team. And to their credit, he even said, hey, I'm not just talking out my ass. He said, I'm getting this directly from management of the team. But they can't do anything against him because guess what? He's not part of the team. So why doesn't the Atlanta Dream get someone in the media? You're in Atlanta, right? There's a whole lot of media people in Atlanta to come out and speak on behalf of Angel. And the thing is, they will get support because people love Angel. They love her. Nobody loves Caitlin Clark. Let's call a spade a spade. Nobody loves her. People only think they like her because they told you to, right? It's marketing, it's propaganda. But there's nothing about her that's likable. Nothing. We can sit here and tell you 10 reasons why we like or love Angel Reese, right? And Angel had this connection with her fans before 2023. That's why she had videos, shorts, whether they be dances and the TikTok dance and the blocking the shot with the shoe and some other stuff, where she had hundreds of thousands or 10 million views. And this is before 2023 finals. So she had that connection, which is why she's got twice as many social media followers as that other girl. And I can guarantee you 75% of that other girl's people don't really follow her. They just populated it with that. Whereas Angel has people who are engaged with her fans. So they would be supported. It wouldn't just be like a drop in the ocean. So the same way they claim Dan Dytek, and remember, it just wasn't him. Annie Costable did an article trashing the situation with Clark. And forgot her name, Dunn. Think that her name is Dunn with the team. She liked it. She liked it and posted it on a website, etc., etc. Nancy R. Moore from USA Today, she did an article trashing Clark. I'm not sure if she's connected with the team, but I'm assuming she got the go-ahead from someone because it was like overnight, everybody just started trashing Clark. That's PR companies that put that out when you see that happen. So the Dream could do the same thing, or Angel in a stealth mode could hire that. But the problem when you do that is you got to do it in a way so people can't trace it back to you, because in Angel's case, the league would try to blow it up and say that was her. But yeah, the team needs to do something to get this out there because we have the video. It's not like we don't have the video, because once you see the video, you can't argue it. And that's their number one hammer that they have. So whether we spread the video, other people spread the video, but it really needs to be people who has a platform where people could go, oh, wow. And that's what the team needs to work on if they don't have the cojones to speak up to the league behind the scenes or on camera.
I wanted to AC Chi-Town said the refs in the W gets $1,200 to $2,500 per game, but don't ref every game. In college, refs make $66,600 to $80,200 annually, so they get that even if they don't ref the game. NBA refs earn $1.15 million to $15 million.
Yeah, they're not.
I appreciate that, AC.
Yeah, but you know, it's so funny. The NFL for years, and I don't know if they still are, not full-time, but for years, the NFL had refs that were part-time. They were lawyers, business people, stuff like that. And they seem to do a very, very good job working, quote unquote, part-time. But look, I thought Unrivaled, and y'all can chime in on this, I thought from the marketing to almost everything, Unrivaled was run better than the WNBA. And they had only been in only existence for 2 years.
You know why? They care about their players, and they care about how much they're getting paid. Everybody's equal for us to say and speaking up. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it how Fee could be so innovative and unrivaled, but when it's come time
and
to
archaic,
represent your team, I mean the league, because they actually, the players have to vote on that, so they voted you in. It's not like you just made yourself the president. How you so nearsighted with that? I don't get it.
Yeah, Unrivaled is run way better than the WNBA, because the stuff that people complained about with the whole Caitlyn nonsense wasn't the case in Unrivaled. Even though Angel, quote unquote, was the de facto Caitlyn in Unrivaled, she was never above any other player as far as how they treated you on the court. Angel got kicked out of a game when she was the first Unrivaled player to get kicked out of a game. And I remember there was some Angel fans that were mad because they said, "Oh, Fee don't like her because she allowed her to get kicked out her own league." So
hold on, MSL TW, who they wave? Was it Maddie?
No, it was Scott Poffenberger.
Who? Somebody
who was that? Right.
She played for Maryland.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I know you're talking about. Oh, now I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know she was okay. She was okay. Yeah. Okay.
Did she play?
Yeah, she did. She barely played though.
Because I was going to say I don't remember her. Okay. I didn't remember her playing. Now I did. I watch it when Gummy be calling it. I watch it. So yeah, but go ahead and finish up, Tiff. What you got to say, Tiff? You say, look, Tiff in that chat says she don't care what y'all say. Tiff, we're not saying you wrong at all.
Well, Tiff ready to cut Spesco's legs out for under him, and I don't know if I'd advocate that. But
Tiff has been giving him mercy and grace and stuff, and I get what she's saying. You know, we get what Tiff's saying, MSL. You know, it is right. I mean, Momo, sometimes you do have to do that, you know, and just see what happens. Sometimes you got to take a risk. But go ahead, Tiffany.
Yeah. Respectfully, Carl Semesco is not doing his job. Actually, disrespectfully, he's stealing money from the Atlanta Dream franchise. He is winning games because of the talent of the players, not because of his coaching ability. You've seen some people, he hacked it by getting good players, right? And because they're figuring it out, they're figuring out how to play together. But again, it's not the job of the media, it's not the job of the front office, it's his job. On the court, it's his job to protect his players. You got to do that. Look at the Washington coach, Sidney Johnson. He crashed out for his players, even if it's just like, even if there's no tangible effect to how
people will cover it and know about it.
Not just people will cover it and know about it. Your players will increase the morale for your players, so that when the refs are playing on their heads next game, they're gonna know Carl got my back. Let's lock in. Let's play, right? The media coverage and all the other stuff means jack nothing. Those people, those refs, that specific ref with a big old buff on the middle of his head, number 3, he needs to be doing secret. He and Izzy to link up together. If you could tell what she's using on her leave out, because that's what he needs to be using on his ball spot. Because he's jealous. He has a one-sided, beef with Angel. He's always he tried to. That's the same ref that kicked Angel out of the game in Chicago. Like the fact that fans know how this guy has treated her as a player over 3 years is enough for Carl and for the front office to be like, hey, this guy does not need to be officiating any Atlanta games, right? But Carl in the game needs to be saying, hey, you need to be calling the game correctly. I don't want to see no whispering. I don't want to see no, he doesn't need to learn and sit there and figure out that, they're targeting Angel. This is ridiculous. This is horrible. What are we going to do? That man is 52 years old, okay? 52, a big 50. That's a big boy.
A big 50, yes.
So he knows what he has to do. And the only time he started chirping a little bit was after Ryan got fouled out. Like, you cannot wait for the refs to take your players completely out of the game, right? There's no excuse for the way that, the game was flipped on its head. And you see other coaches have more influence because they speak up earlier. The refs know who and who they can't play with.
I do also saw something, guys, and this the note too. It could have been way more calls than what it was, but I did see some Esco in the ref's ear. And that can, not the ones we know. Not the ones we know. I don't know if 42 was there. I don't know. I didn't see 42 on the sideline, but that don't mean 42 won't there.
Well,
but
go ahead, Tiff.
I mean, I'm just saying like that helps too, but yeah, something that's what I said, Tiffany, just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Just take it out. Just go ahead and just say something, because you don't want to get to the point where your best players for this team that are figuring out how to fight through all this, because their mindsets have to fight through all of this. They have to. And so he has to figure it out, because Rah mindset had to play through it as well, because they know the play. It's so sad that the players know they knew of, but not they really know, because they have Angel Reese on that team, and you can't sit up there and your especially your starters, you can't have them almost be out of the game. Who's gonna play the game? So sooner or later, you're going to have to do something, because these players, they need to also be protected. Guys, I get it. We know the difference between the chirping and all that kind of stuff. But when it goes beyond that, it is a big problem. When it goes to beyond someone really wanting to take this young lady out, it becomes more than what we're looking at. That's why I say it's way bigger than the program. It's a lot of politics that we can't get in today that will take a long time.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of politics.
Yeah, but it can't keep happening, because it's trickling. Okay, they wanted the Twin Towers split up. Chicago Twin Towers will forever be my Twin Towers. So they wanted my twins split up. They got that. They finally got the twins split up, right? But not only do they have them split up, you know what they doing? They're doing the same thing to the twin. They're doing the same thing
simultaneously but separately.
Yeah, separately. Separately with the twins or whatever. So it's like, what are we doing here, people? You're tearing our players up. Our players are going, they're going through so much mentally. I mean, what we have to do something, guys. Something has to be done sooner than later, for real.
But it's funny because I think you were responding to what Tiff and Miss D said if she's still on the panel, and they're right in this respect.
I'm still here.
Good, they're right in this respect. One of the things that I was hoping, and I had just tuned in right before I came, so I don't know if y'all discussed this, but one of the things they should have discussed, and I think Miss D mentioned it, was in code when they were saying they're jealous of Clark, the media. That was more so translation that she was getting undue treatment compared to the other players. That's what that really was. So including down to the refereeing, which insiders in the league have acknowledged that, yeah, she's represented it, disproportionately to the opposition and favorable to her, along with the marketing saying they hate her and this, all that other stuff. So yes, one of the things they should have discussed in secret, because the league would have never allowed it to hit the media in secret, was that y'all got to give up all this craziness with Caitlin Clark, because essentially it's that basically it's like one player is decent and everybody else will be treated like serfs. And that's essentially what they were trying to do. Paige didn't have to be in that system. Angel didn't have to be in that system because they had their own money and their own following. But that's essentially what they were trying to do to the players. So what we have now is that punishment that they still have for Angel. Remember on Angel's podcast where she said at the end, Kathy's never spoken to me before. I'm looking forward to that conversation with Kathy. And this was after she talked about them telling her to get rid of her manager, Janita Oberwire, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. So, there's some bad blood there, which is obvious. There's some bad blood there, and Kathy wanted it, or they should have wanted Kathy removed. I don't know if y'all said that before. She should have never stayed as commissioner, because if she was the overseer on the plantation and now they tell y'all that y'all got to move to a different neighborhood, then why you bring the overseer from the plantation to the new neighborhood? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. So some of those things should have been fought for, but the problem obviously is it would have taken longer. And then you had those Clarkey sites who were trying to say, a discussion is imminent, a close is imminent, an agreement is imminent. And they may have felt the pressure from that, because the thing that I always felt, and I think everybody in this panel agrees, everyone who actually supported the WNBA, we were okay with the players getting what they wanted, regardless of the time that it took. But the people who actually didn't support the WNBA and just supported Clark, they wanted it to end as quickly as possible because they didn't give a damn about these other players. They don't care. So I think Miss D and Tiffy Cole, she brought it up, and Jacob, if he brought it up, they had some legitimate issues there. So though they got good stuff in the CBA, they're still being punished for the stuff that they didn't confront, because ESPN included, the media started, they do different things. And one of the things they did was start pushing like, oh, we're going to get this done. We're going to get this done. We're going to get this done. And I think NECA and Fee and them, Kelsey, they probably felt the pressure and wanted to get a deal done. And they said, hey, we're getting 20%. Everybody should be happy, when in reality, if you were going to only take 20%, then you should have also said, okay, let's get rid of the racism. Let's get rid of deifying this girl. Let's get rid of promoting this girl. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of to the unfavorable refereeing. Those are things that can be discussed in private. It doesn't have to be discussed publicly. Because right now, you put Angel in a situation where she, her coach, her team, her management, the team's management, or us have to figure out a way to get this out in the open and or stop it. And it really shouldn't be any of our jobs. So I agree with Tiffy Cole on that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Kappa, that I know I did notice yesterday that he was doing that or whatever. So I'm quite sure for those that are at the games can see a little bit more than what we see. But I want to play this video of what Miller said yesterday, guys, and then we'll get back into it.
With 3 fouls. We'll see if she's allowed to stay in the game. Shimmy with 3 fouls. We'll see if she's allowed to stay in the game.
Last foul was on number 30, Desiree Stevens.
They're giving.
Could y'all hear what she was saying, chat?
No.
You couldn't?
No.
There was no sound?
No.
What the? Okay.
I just heard the music.
That's it? Oh, maybe she just okay, maybe she was saying it so low that you guys couldn't hear it. Let me see if I can. Let me see.
Hey, ADP. While you're looking for that, I just typed it to the chat, and I agree with Tifico and Miss D on this. From the Dreams perspective, Angel is your big money maker. If she gets hurt, if someone said this already, if she gets hurt or gets injured, you're gonna wish that you addressed this when it was proper and when it was necessary, because no one wants to think that. But God forbid, if she gets seriously hurt, or she has lagging, niggling injuries over the year, you're going to wish you would have addressed this beforehand. So from that perspective, no matter what it takes, they really need to put their foot down, whether it be talking to the referee, speaking out in a press conference, or speaking to them on an executive level, or having someone in the media that or someone prominent or some reporter, whoever, celebrity, civil rights leader, whoever in Atlanta come out and speak about Angel Reese. Because I guarantee you, if Bernice King spoke about Angel Reese, it would be news.
Started of what are you gonna do, because it's beginning to be too much for the players, mentally. And if something happens, because a lot of times a lot of things that the players are going through, we don't hear about till years and years later, you know what I'm saying, about whatever how they deal with their mental health, or what are the things that they try to do because they didn't want to be here anymore, or it's to the point where sometimes it take them out of the game. This is why it's great to do research on players, because you'll see players like a Raven Johnson and Betts and Angel and Camilla, Shamika Holsclaw. You can hear all of them, Candace Wiggins, speaking out from their mouths of the experience they had and what they had to deal with from them, from themselves, rather than us trying to figure out, but yes, what does happen if that person is behind, because we don't know what's going on behind closed doors at the end of the day with somebody's mental. And when they don't, you can see the signs of a person when they don't clearly had enough, especially when it comes to Angel and Camilla. They've shown it. We've seen the receipts from last year to this year. Now we're seeing it more and more. So yes, my question is to the the WNBA organization, what are you guys planning on doing about it? Because now we're starting to see more and more with a particular team that think they can just bully and do whatever they want and get away with it. And it has still yet to go in their favor.
Well, I don't listen to her show, but I'm going to try to, if I have the time, really the opportunity, I want to write Carrie Champion, since she was the one who spoke about CC before, and just
Cappy got a story. I did Cappy pretty. I did Cappy. Thanks to my Janine who be sending me stuff. Oh, AC, I got you too. I'm a Thursday and Friday. I do the I'm gonna go back to the history.
Carrie Champion may be a good person to target, because I think
I already did her. I did Cappy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cappy got a good story, MSL. You're right. Go ahead, MSL.
You said Carrie or Caffey? It's just how you pronounce her name. No, Carrie. No, it's Carrie. Cari. Carrie Champion.
Oh, you talking about Carrie champion? I gotta check and
Yes.
see if I did Carrie. I was looking at Pretty with Cappy. Okay.
Right. She gave a quote with Kathy about the Nafisa Collier quote when basically she was like, Clark need to sit her behind down because she made all this money out of our platform. What she was really saying is, we hooked you up with this money when your ass was making shit in college and NIL. Because all of them are official WNBA sponsors. Just like how they,
it's big. It's so big. That's why I said we can't even get.
But this is the part that they don't tell us in the news, because you see, it's the same propaganda they use for warfare or to sell products or to sell politicians, where they tell us one thing and dupe us into something else, or they make something seem natural when it's not. That's what they did with her. And one of the easiest ways to know they always lying to you is anytime they tell you the same thing over and over again. They call it saturation, right? Over and over and over again. They lying. Because there's a thing in marketing that says if a person gets 8 to 12 impressions, they start to believe it. Meaning if you hear the same thing 8 to 12 times, you start to believe it. In certain areas, the impressions may be more. Several years ago, it was only 6 impressions. But now, because of social media and how we get bombarded with short-term memory, now the impressions are up to like 8 and 12, and it may still be increasing. So they have to give us that saturation coverage, especially when it comes to news, because now they know we can get our information off the internet.
Well,
right?
MSL, people they can forget all that because this a new breed. When we tired, and that's the thing. It's crazy how the world works, but sometimes it's like this. You know what I'm saying? We don't start to come together till something crazy starts to happen. But when we fight together, we win together. So
defining moment.
It may not be the way that we want it to. But it's coming. We may not like to see the transition of what's getting ready to happen, but don't get it twisted for 1 minute. Yes, this has been going on, but that too has a deadline and a date stamped on it too. It might not be, you know what I'm saying? We're not saying it's going to be all 100% perfect, but some stuff going to be done to protect these players because too many social medias. I haven't seen it like this, MSL, Miss D, Jacob, and Tiffany. I haven't seen
it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn for the real people.
I'm talking about them replaying. I mean, they replaying. They doing the plays in slow.
That's all. That's the best that we can do. If the media is not going to do it, that's the best that we can do. Is take those videos.
Yeah.
Right, and replay them so people, because once you see the video, you can't deny it. It's easy to dismiss because refereeing is the easiest thing to dismiss. Because I feel funny talking about refereeing, as I'm sure Tiffy and you ADP and you Miss D and Jacob, you may feel funny because it's the loser's lament, right? To always talk about the officiating, but when you watch the game and it jumps out at you and you say to yourself, wow, that's the worst officiated game that I've seen in God knows how long, right? That's a separator, right? This ain't no regular, this foul. You're seeing someone getting hit on the neck, hit on the head, hit in the face, hung off a bump, push, shove, and they didn't get one foul in the first half. Not one. So you have to say something. And then something similar happens again with the same team, same coach, as Tiffy said, on the committee, just like homeboy from New York, right? Because think about it, they did the same thing. And I'm not saying conspiracy, but they did the same thing, right? They hung under her elbows. She came down, didn't do nothing wrong. The ref called a foul, and then they did a challenge, or the ref did an official review to upgrade it when you didn't give her no space. So you could give a shooter 20 feet away from the basket space to come down, but you can't give a post player grabbing a rebound or taking a shot, or a downhill player, which happened with New York. If I'm taking a shot, my elbows are going to be bent. If I'm grabbing a rebound, at some point, my elbows are going to be bent. And even Dantes did that to Angel. Her elbows were bent. Mind you, on the same video, Dantes' elbow was laying on Angel's face. It always makes me wonder when they do these reviews, do they ever go, oh shit, the person who we thought was the innocent one actually did it first, so let's cancel it. But they'll never do that. And that's one of the problems with the WNBA.
Yeah. Miss D and Tiffy and Jacob, how do you guys feel about the game yesterday? I'm saying just watching it because it's the second time we've watched it with this Tempo team, and they have allowed them to bully like that.
I don't like I said. I don't think it's just a tempo. I don't like the way like the officiating. You know what's so weird? When they do those reviews, they also have somebody, another person
You
upstairs,
know why I say
or
that, Miss D? These
why?
players know exactly what they're doing.
Oh
They know
yeah,
exactly what they're getting away with. They're not
right.
in
But
pre-K and
it's
kindergarten where
not
they're
just a
still
tempo,
learning. They know exactly what they're doing. So
right?
because they're allowed to do it, they are doing it. There's a difference where if you see something wrong, you don't have to entertain it. But the fact that they're entertaining it says a lot about their character.
Right,
But go ahead, Miss
exactly.
D.
But like I said, they review all these calls, but they wind up they got somebody at the top telling them, as well, but they still get it wrong. They got Kathy, she said, but she never like you said, fix it. So like I said, I'm gonna continue to say that NECA, Stewie, Fee, they hired you, get on your job, get
Yes,
on your job,
please.
and
Hey, but Miss D, hey,
uh,
the chat was going after my ass for saying that bullshit.
no, Brian, no, that's not true. They don't make their own call reviews. They have somebody upstairs, and then also I think they getting that phone call. I'm gonna keep it at that, Brian. I'm
But
gonna keep it at
haven't
that.
they prostituted the whole meaning of review, right? Because this all started in
Exactly.
tennis. This all started in tennis, right? And then it went to tennis, I think, to baseball, and then to other sports, right? It's supposed to be if you stay with the current call, unless you can clearly. We seen stuff against Angel the last 3 games where they're saying, "Oh, this was marginal, and this was this, and this was this," and they're changing the call when it's not clear 100% or 100. And that is what I think is also messing up the review, is that they're essentially doing what they want to now to whatever their interpretation is. Would you agree with that, Misty? Misty?
Ah,
Oh, I'm sorry if you were doing something else.
no, go ahead. No, say what you
No,
say. What you say.
what I was asking you was, or anyone on the panel, what replay was supposed to overturn something that was egregious, but you wouldn't overturn it if it
Exactly.
was hard to figure out. You just go let it stay. But we seen stuff against Angel the last several games
Right.
where it was clear that she didn't foul someone, and they
They
still
still didn't
didn't
do it.
overturn it.
Exactly. Like I said, all right, like I said, gotta be a call from the league of somebody upstairs. Cause like not look, you got the three refs, and then you probably have another ref in the booth or somewhere around telling them stuff, and they still don't get it right. So obviously,
Miss
there's
D,
something going on
Miss
with the
D,
Look
league,
at the
huh?
pick. Look at the pick with Kia Nurse, right? Last night, the pick with Kia
Exactly.
Nurse, right? Kia Nurse flopped and fell,
Exactly.
right? Angel didn't do
Right.
anything. That was a proper screen. It wasn't that Ryan left too early.
Right.
No, that was a proper
But they know
screen.
they could get away with it because they see Sophie Cunningham doing that mess too.
And there's too much flopping in the league right now,
Exactly.
and
It is.
and they're not going after the floppers.
Exactly.
And once again, the league, if they want to help themselves, well, not the league, the Dream, if they want to help themselves, then they better get on this, because if Angel gets hurt, poof, there goes all your
Exactly.
revenue for
Because
the
even
rest of the
even the
year.
last game when Angel played the Fever, she was complaining that Cece was throwing her head back and acting like she was getting that it was physical contact with her, but it wasn't. That was just her Cece throwing her head back.
Right. And for those of y'all that don't know, obviously Kappa knows, he may have even been there. For last night's game, for whatever reason, they closed off another 6,000 worth of seats, but they claimed there was 11,000 in attendance. So that's two good things you can say. One, they filled up the seats that were available. Maybe they didn't think that many people would come to see Toronto. I mean, Kappa, he may know in the chat, but they got 11,000 people apparently. And what would have happened if they would have opened up all the seats? And this is crappy as Toronto. So if I'm the Atlanta management and I'm looking at this, I'm saying, God damn, I either got to get more games at State Farm, and or I got to find one of them 10 to 12,000 seat arenas that the colleges have locally, and I'll put the bigger games at State Farm, and then they'll make 3 to 4 times more money than where they're making now. But guess what? You can't do that if Angel is hurt or don't want to play for you no more because she didn't feel protected.
I agree with that. Right.
I
But
think that Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tiff.
No, go ahead, Tim.
I was gonna say, I think that Carl and honestly Renee too. I'm sorry. The Atlanta Dream needs to step up to the plate. They're not taking it serious enough because they don't see how serious it can get, right? And the reason being is that they're winning games still. So it hasn't risen to him as like something that he needs to crash out about. But that's why I say that's his inexperience as far as being a winner. He's a loser. And so him and his toupee are gonna get snatched in Golden State Valkyries because Natalie Nakase
Yeah, she plays tough defense. I saw what they did to Olivia Miles
it's
last
not
week.
even yes, she plays tough defense, but she works the ref from the second she steps onto the court.
That's
Those
true.
refs fall into Golden State's hands, and when it comes down to tight games, the reason it all usually goes in Golden State's hands is because she's been working the refs.
They may win both of those games even on the road simply because they don't have no size. They don't have no size inside. If the refs do this game fairly, I think Okai and Angel gonna eat them up.
The rest, I mean, y'all, let's be for real. Carl Semesco only played like hold on. Let me sit up straight. Carl Semesco only played Okai because the rest of his players were in foul trouble.
And the fact that Angel was the only one they were calling fouls on in the post. They weren't calling fouls on anyone else. That's what also made last night so obvious. And everyone else got single team in the post. Angel got double, triple, and sometimes quadruple teams.
We would have lost that game if Medina Olcott did not have a career night. Like, are we understanding that the Atlanta Dream is winning because of their talent, not because of their coach? If it comes down to coaching, which I do think the Golden State Valkyrie game will come down to, Carl Semesco is going to get mollyrocked. He is going to get wiped back and forth by Natalie Nakase, not because he's a quiet guy. No, he's stuck in his ways, all right? And he thinks that, putting in things to the league will take care of an issue. The league is not going to take care of an issue that only affects your team, mister. So, as I said before, I think we can, it's easy for us to and I'm not saying that I disagree. I do agree that other things have to happen, right? As far as bringing attention in the front office and X, Y, and Z. But ultimately, if the guy
he's a second-year coach, though, Tiffy Cole,
we're not doing this.
And he doesn't have Nakase's personality.
Jacob, calm down. Let him speak. Don't yell.
No, it's not an excuse. I'm just giving reality. He's a second-year coach, and he doesn't have Nakase's personality. He doesn't have Jose Fernandez's personality.
He's a man.
So
I think they hired the wrong coach. Why you ain't go for Spoon? Why you ain't go for Christy Tolliver? January, somebody come on.
He's a man. Let's be for real. He is a man.
I know.
He's gonna get away with a lot more than the women coaches will.
Yeah, but he not saying nothing. He might get away with what is he saying?
Cause he's
everything.
If y'all putting y'all trust in Kitty Carl, I feel sorry for y'all. Y'all gonna have a long year.
You just look up in here.
Y'all gonna have a long year. Y'all putting y'all trust in Kitty Carl. Y'all gonna have a long year if y'all fit to do that.
Beatty, in fairness, Beatty, and I'm not defending Carl, but I've heard a lot of people say a lot of stuff the past month and the past few weeks, and it didn't happen and it didn't turn out, and they was 100% wrong. So I'm not saying that you guys are not right. I mean, you could be, but let's just give him a chance. Because here's the thing with Carl that I see with Carl. Carl may not be the best in-game, on-the-spot manager. However, he does make changes before the game, and he does make changes or prepares at halftime. Because if he didn't, they wouldn't be 12-4 right now. Let's be honest, because he acknowledged that Stephanie White made changes for the second game, which we all discussed when we were on panels that was going to happen, and they did, and they weren't going to win this in the exact same way in that second game that they did, and that's what happened. But we're going to learn a lot, right? Because if they win these two Golden State games, then we'll all be wrong, at least temporarily, right? And if they lose these 2 games, then everybody's going to be right, calling him a schmuck and everything else. We'll just have to see how these games play out. But I
Listen,
think they have a good chance of winning both games.
MSL, my issue ain't with Carl Semesco coaching style. My issue is with Carl Semesco's testosterone levels. Again, as a coach, you have 2 basic jobs: to win the damn game and to protect your player. Is he winning the games? Yes. But he ain't protect his players, so I can't fuck with him like that anymore. I just can't. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm sorry. I know y'all disagree with me, and that's okay. But I can't do it.
No, Tiffy Cole and Miss D and Jacob, they all agree with you. I don't disagree with you. I just take perspective to see what happens. But they all agree with you. They think he's full of shit.
And secondly, when we talking about the referees, right? Because that's what I really wanted to come up here for, was talking about the referees. This been going on, folks, for a generation now. This is not a new movie. This been going on for 15, 20 years. Thes women have been getting beat up for a long, long time. It's just now coming to the light now, because now it's starting to happen to your favorite players.
Yeah, but they have
it's been coming to light.
But they have a reason to do this to Angel. This is not just happenstance, BD. We can show and demonstrate. Nancy Armour from USA Today, she did an article regarding Caitlin Clark, and I think she, Carrie Champion, a couple other reporters had said they've gotten from inside the WNBA that Caitlin Clark is being favorably on whatever word you want to use, officiated. So presumably, and this is my speculation, but presumably, if she's being favorably officiated, then why wouldn't Angel Reese be disfavorably officiated? Because Angel Reese turned up her nose to the WNBA when they quote unquote wanted her to play ball. And that's something that we know, but that's not something that's discussed in the media, right? Just like when she was shopping for another team, it was never discussed in the media, like if LeBron wanted to do it or someone else wanted to do it, that she was shopping teams. So what happened? She ends up in Atlanta. And a lot of these idiots, right, they just feel, oh, she was traded against her will. They so stupid. They don't realize you would never get traded to the perfect team for you. But they so stupid that they come up and say, oh, she was traded for a bag of shells and she better behave and she better just rebound and play defense and keep her mouth shut, et cetera, et cetera. The media does that, because if the media wanted to, they could have discussed, hey, Angel Reese's agent met with Pagliacca and said, shot me because she's sick and tired of this, sick and tired of that. But they wanted to be able to create the narrative against Angel, because that's what it's been ever since she's been in the league. So I hear what you're saying, BD.
Okay, well, I got something for you for that.
Tiffany was trying to say something. Go ahead.
Right quick, because I feel like it's very easy to, and I know you might be about to say something, but it's very easy to boil it down to Angel versus Caitlin, and that's not the truth. Like, if we're being 100% honest, the WNBA wants this to be a white guard-focused league, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're not just diminishing Angel stats, they're diminishing Asia's too. We saw last year when they basically had a foregone conclusion that Asia Wilson's not going to win the MVP. And she had to do everything in her power to will her team to such winning that, okay, they could no longer deny those stats and they had to give it to her. But had Fee not gotten injured, Asia could have dropped another 1,000 points and they were not going to give her that MVP. Same thing is happening this year. We've seen year after year how Angel Reese has led the lead in rebounding. She's led the league in double-doubles. She's
defensive efficiency, etc.
Player has never once made an all-defensive team. But they gave Paige Becker's second team all WNBA, and her team was lower than Angel's. It's bigger than just Caitlin
or Alana Smith last year.
And Alana Smith, and they're doing the same thing with Jessica Shepard this year. Jessica Shepard's stats this week were lower than Angel's last season, and she only got Player of the Week once. These are agendas that are being pushed because the people at the top, Adam Silver tried to do this with the NBA too. There was a period of time where most of the MVPs were going to foreign players, they're going to white players, and then now all of a sudden, like they're trying to make Wemby's going to be the next one that they're going to be pushing like that. Same thing is happening in the WNBA, right? So I think that we got to take a step back and realize that there are certain agendas here that do not serve the people at the top. The people being Kathy, being Adam Silver, being ESPN, Nike. They want to push certain players, and it benefits Caitlin, but it benefits Paige too. It benefits.
No, it does.
Well, here's the thing about the advocacy part that you speak of. It's not about Adam Silver and Kathy Engelberg at the end of the day. We got to remember who owns these teams, right? It's a good old boys club, like in every professional sport. The majority of the ownership of the WNBA are white men and women.
But the majority of the players, not to interrupt you,
I know that, but let me finish. 75% of the league is black women, right? They're not trying to push black. They don't even see these black women as people. They look at these black women as commodities to be bought and sold.
Yeah, but
y'all got to see the play.
But Angel Reese is not that. So that's how you know it's not about marketing. It's not about marketing the league, because if it was, they would have made Angel Reese number one. Because here's the thing. You pick any white man. I
wasn't talking about marketing, though. I was talking about advocacy. Let me give you an example. A year and a half ago, I know all of y'all are familiar with the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal wrote an editorial on Caitlin Clark and her civil rights being violated. Why we don't have a Kerry Champion writing an article like that? Why we don't have a Jamil Hill writing an article like that? Why we don't have a Stephen A. Smith writing an article like that?
Hold on, BD, hold on.
Wait, guys, wait. Let me see.
Let me say this. I want to comment on that. You know why, BD? Those same people you named
on payroll,
unfortunately, was not on Angel's side. They kind of went to the.
They was on payroll. I'll say it. They was on payroll.
Right.
Or they didn't know better. Either they didn't know better, they were on payroll.
Oh, they didn't know better, because these people watch basketball, so they knew who Angel was. So it's no excuse.
No, my point is this: the person who wrote that article on Caitlin Clark didn't watch basketball either. He's a political pundit.
I know that. BD.
No. BG brought up a good point, Miss D. And I've said this before in the past. I wouldn't be surprised, because they've done this with other vehicles, where when Trump came in office in 2024, they could have used Caitlin Clark and women's basketball as it's what they call a stealth advocacy program to get more people into the GOP, or if not to get them into the GOP, to have people that they can count on and vote on, because they've done that before.
I know that, but MSL, that's not it either. You know why? Because it's the great white hype syndrome. That's the
I agree with all that, but to BD,
it don't matter. It don't matter what president it is. It really don't, because
to BD's I agree, because I don't fall into the whole Republican Democrat. They both full of shit. But I'm not even getting into that right now, especially on a corporate level. No, what I'm saying is BD has a point to this extent. I think with the machine that came out on Clark in 2024. I do think that one of three things happened. A lot of blacks, to BD's point, who could have advocated for Angel, either didn't follow the sport, the WNBA. They didn't follow the sport. They didn't really know about her much, especially the big testosterone ex-athletes. They probably didn't follow the WNBA. Two, people were paid to big up Caitlin Clark. So the people who you thought or expected to say something weren't. For example, nobody on ESPN was going to pick up Angel, because everyone knows ESPN is a partner with the WNBA. So whatever the directive was for the WNBA, that's what ESPN was going to say. Right. Whatever directive Nike had, that's what ESPN was going to do. And then I think the third group, they just didn't know better. So for example, when you turn on your TV and all you hear about is Caitlin Clark, you go, oh, she must be the biggest women's basketball player. And the other day I was on Brooklyn's show, the 80s, whatever his show exactly is called. And I didn't think he'd know, because he told me he just started following women's basketball 2 years ago. And I had mentioned that Angel was actually the more popular player in college, and he knew that. He was like, of course she was. I remember her TikTok videos. I remember this, that. But what they tried to do was memory hold that existence. Once Clark came in 2024, they put what I call the biggest, most massive campaign I've ever seen for a single player. I call it a propaganda campaign. to make people believe that this person actually had fans to the level that they say she did. Because I always give an argument, right, that sounds a contrast, that don't make sense, right, on the surface. I always say she don't have no fans on the internet, but I'll also say her fans are mostly casuals. Well, how does that happen? How does that coexist? Because the people who we see on the internet, as I've said many times, are bots that both Caitlyn and Stephanie White have said many times, but the media never asked them. Paid presenters like the Keep the Vision idiots and all of those people, Venom, all these people are paid, right? They're all propaganda, and some of them get paid directly from PR companies, and some of them get paid through the internet marketplace or the social media marketplace. Just like how in politics, if you pick a topic, people will pay you for how many words you say about that topic, or people will pay you if you advocate for certain things or advocate for certain products. So they make it seem like it's real and natural, but it's not. You're being paid. That's most of your Clarkies that you see on the internet. And when the media and the PR companies that have the media people who are hooked up with it, once these people talk about it, then the media picks it up and makes it seem like it's real. Just like when Keith Olbermann and Portnoy were on the internet speaking about Angel, eventually ESPN and them started picking it up. During the game, ESPN didn't have nothing to say about it. It was a nothing burger. It didn't happen. But this is how they trick us. Now, the reason how the casuals, remember in 2024 when K-Sap and everybody kept saying the casuals. Well, the casuals came because once she came, they so much talked about Caitlin Clark that the bandwagoners, the racists, the eunuchs, the simps, the people who wanted something to hang on to because they didn't have no life, they clung on to Caitlin Clark because they heard she would be the best, greatest thing ever. And then the racists who disappeared after the 2023 finals, all of a sudden now they showed up again because they all said that she was the conquering hero. And this is one of the reasons why they can't stop the propaganda campaign with Clark, because if they did, then they would have to admit that they lied to us.
Well, here's the thing, MSL, the advocacy part. If you had somebody write an editorial in, let's say, the New York Times, right? You would get the traction that you want to get. See all of our voices on the YouTube streets. We complain about the stuff, but you don't see anything happening because our YouTube voices don't affect the powers that be. You see how
we don't know that. We can't say, you can't say that.
I can't say that because I've seen it play. I can because I've seen it play out already.
You cannot say that
it's already played out.
You cannot say that social media and these platforms and these people don't have a voice. You don't even know who these people are. You can't.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that, ADP. I didn't say that we didn't have a voice. I said our voices aren't being heard by the powers that be.
How do you know that? Because you don't know.
Because if they were ADP, you would see the change.
Just because you don't see the full blueprint does not mean it's not happening. You don't even know who the people are that we think are fans could be all in it. We don't know that. So we can't say an overall scenario of what we think. We have to have proof, just like we say, drop a receipt.
You want proof? Let me give you my proof. You said we need proof.
Telling a story. Show me some numbers. You can't vouch and say for we don't move motion and we don't make a difference. You can't say that.
Well, we got her traded.
If we weren't moving, if we weren't making any motion, we wouldn't see no changes. Do you know how many people spoke out, regardless of whether you saw them or not, or know if they famous, was on that CBA? We make motion. It's only when we fight together, we win together. But when we have the division, of course we're not going to get anything. But we don't have the proof to say that, BD. You can
I do have the proof.
You can base it off
I do
of
have the proof. If you will allow me to tell you.
Base it off of the whole thing. You can't say that because you don't know.
I can say that because I've watched it play out.
And everybody can be a fan, but you don't know what their background, what their criteria, where they work, what they do.
Wait, hold on.
Would you agree that Caitlin Clark whistle is different this year than from her rookie year?
Okay, but that's different. The coaches are advocating for that.
That's different.
No, I'm saying, would you?
No,
is there a difference?
No,
She still get a whole bunch of foul calls.
She wasn't
for her.
getting those same foul
Yes, she
calls in her
was.
rookie
Yes,
year.
she
No,
was.
she wasn't.
Yes, she
The
was.
minute
She was.
came
Yes,
It's
she
not
was.
at the
the
same
minute
rate,
she
Yes, she
y'all.
started,
was.
Not at the
BD.
same
minute
rate.
she
That she
started,
Yes, she
wasn't.
was. Yes, she
look,
was.
she told
She
you
was.
last year because
Stop it.
everybody wanted to
Not.
question
It
Stop
you.
it.
wasn't at
She
the
told, and
same
she
rate.
told
It
Yes, it
was
everybody,
not.
was. Yes, it
look,
was,
let me
BD.
listen.
Stop it.
She
No, it
told
was not.
everybody
It
last
was.
year on that floor
Stop
that
it,
this
please.
is my league and I can do what the F I want to do. She told you.
Exactly.
So
BD,
from day
stop it.
one, she just giving,
Ain't no
just
Caitlin
putting a
Clark apologist
stamp
up
on
here.
it.
Here's the
Okay.
thing, BD,
Go
that you're
ahead, Tiff.
missing, right? It does matter. It does have an effect. Two reasons. One, that's why I beg y'all to, like, Fever fans, I beg y'all to, like, pay attention to other teams. Because one, the Chicago Sky literally said, Jeff Paglioccia said it, Rakia Jackson said it, Courtney Vandersloot, Sluty with no booty said it. You know, the team has a lot of pressure from the fans' expectations. They felt like they were under a microscope. That's from fans seeing what's going on in Chicago and saying something ain't right. And even if people are gonna run counter narratives and say, "Oh no, everything's fine and dandy, one team, blah blah blah," it's not true. The fans are hardly ever wrong. They are just early. Second thing that happened as well is the Atlanta Dream. As soon as they traded for her, one of the COO of the team came out and said they saw 95% positive online engagement when they announced the trade of Angel.
99.
That it was 95 because I remember there's a particular, well, it depends. It might be in different platforms, but I know for X at least.
No, she claimed what I heard. Forgot her name, Morgan.
Okay.
Forgot her
Well,
last name.
my main point was this though. Social media advocacy is much different from mainstream media advocacy. It just is.
Let her talk.
Let Tiffany finish, and then you can touch off what Tiffany is doing. Okay.
Just let me land my plane, and I promise, right? It's not just social media, because then you have actual reporters asking the same questions that the fans are asking. They're in these rooms, they're in other rooms, they're in other chats that you're not privy to, right? And those are the ones who are asking, pressing on Carl Semesco. Hey, what do you think about this unfair officiating? Hey, have you guys been rescinding these ones? And it's not just in Atlanta. It's also with the Mystics. It's also with the Aces, right? So these reporters, this reporting that we come from coaches, this attention that gets to the front office is part of the fan narratives, and it's not just making up something, but that is advocacy. If enough people are talking about it, teams don't want to lose money, because forget about ESPN and all that business. Teams don't make money from that. They make money from butts in seats. They make money from impressions online, and they make money from the same fans that you're saying don't have a movement. If when the fans decided to stop showing up to Chicago, the Sue started sweating. Then we started seeing Jeff Paglioccia.
Tiff, I think.
Hold on,
Can I respond?
Let BD respond. MSL, there you go.
Again, social media advocacy is not the same as mainstream media advocacy. This is a system that we live in. Yes, is the social media advocacy out here for the public view? Absolutely it is. But it does not have the same effect as the mainstream media advocacy. It just don't.
Well, can
It
I?
doesn't.
Well, I think, one thing, BD, I disagree to this respect. I disagree for a couple of reasons. One, first of all, the WNBA is not the NBA. It's not even the NCAA I've said many times, the audience in the WNBA is about a quarter for what we have in college. So it's very easy to move the needle in the WNBA with with a much smaller shift. That's the first thing. The second thing is the WNBA itself is different than each individual team. As was discussed about Chicago and Atlanta, I do think the teams are very, very, very sensitive. Kappa 1911 in the audience will tell you that. AC Chi-Town will tell you that. Jabari, if he's in the audience, will tell you that. And we did get Angel out of Chicago because people like Bro Claude, etc., said that the Chicago Sky were listening to their broadcast. And I know other YouTubers said Chicago was listening to their broadcast. So for someone such as yourself, BD, what that really is just a mirror into what they feel the larger populace feels, and that's what they use social media for, legitimate social media, not like the fake one with the Caitlin Clark sites. If they feel this is how the average Chicago fan feels, or this is how the average Angel fans feel, then they use that as research to say, we better do this. And there are a lot of people in the chat that can tell you that they got those responses. Now, in regards to what you're saying about what I call corporate media, yes, to a point, corporate media can bring out a message like a hammer, and they can repeat it over and over and over again. But also to what this audience is saying, for a certain age group, they don't care what corporate media says anymore. They don't believe. All the polls show that 76% of Americans don't believe what they hear on the news. So because of that, social media does have an effect, and that's why they put a lot of these fake Clarkey sites up to make you believe that it's real, or they pay these people to make you believe that it's real, because these teams do listen to what they feel their fans say. And the easiest way or the best way to find out what your fans say without hiring a marketing research firm is just to listen to social media. It's right there. So I do think that happens more than you think, because a lot of people have said, hey, this person listens, this player listens, that person listens, this GM listens, that GM listens. So I think it's true. Now, on a WNBA level, you're right. It's harder to make them move. So then you will have the media, who the WNBA controls. I agree with that. Versus a people's movement or a celebrity that can speak out. But despite that, it just takes longer with social media. We got Angel out of Chicago because they knew enough fans did not support Chicago, did not like Chicago, did not like how they treated her. Even the regular Chicago fans, BD, they would say stuff like, I love my Chicago, but I want Angel to go because I don't think she should be with this shitty ass team. So that opened the door for Angel and her management to come in and say, hey, we want you to quietly shop her. If they didn't feel that the fans in and out of Chicago wanted that, do you think that could ever happen, BD?
Yes, because I think this is just my personal feeling. I think Angel forced her way out.
No, she did. I agree. But
she didn't. Angel did. Well, hold on. No, she did not. Angel was forced out because, and if y'all are paying attention, Sloot and Angel never resolved their issues in Chicago, and they chose Sloot over Angel. Angel was forced out of Chicago. Now, mind you, she didn't mind leaving, but she did not ask to leave that franchise.
No, I agree with BD that she forced herself out, because Alexis Philippou from ESPN, she did acknowledge that Angel's management, after the whole half-game suspension, went to Chicago management, and they agreed to privately shop her. It was as
listen, that was the tipping point, MSL. When she got suspended that game, it was over after that.
I agree. Discussing it, but Alexis Philippou also said that Angel let Tiffany get it. She said directly, and so did Kendra, whatever her name is. All the reporters from ESPN said officially Angel never asked out of Chicago.
So no. But see, that's the okie doke they tried to pull on us.
No. Right. But the truth of the matter is,
okie doke.
I was born that night, not last night.
That was the.
Angel wanted to. I'm not gonna roll with that. I'm not gonna roll with that, because if Angel wanted to, she could have been traded halfway through the season. She was willing to give Chicago another chance. Jeff wanted her out at the end of the season. He wanted her out, and her team was trying to hold him accountable and trying to figure out what they could do. But she never asked explicitly to be moved out of Chicago.
But that's not true. That's just a play on words. That's not true.
It's true
because her agent walked into Chicago the day after they suspended her and said to trade her. They use fancy words to make Chicago look good, but that's what she essentially asked for. And I can say that with confidence as a fact. Her agent walked into the Chicago the day after that half-game suspension, and you know how we also know? Because Angel pulled down every single thing associated with the Chicago Sky on the internet. She took down her number, she took down her jersey, she took down any likes on the team.
But what you're missing is that the team made an effort in order to have Angel and Sloot reconcile, and Sloot did not want to meet. So it's not Angel. Angel was willing to work with her, work with them, and figure it out. And her team was willing to work.
Yeah, but she had a reason to stay, because Tyler Marsh was allowing her basically carte blanche to run the offense the way she did. So she also had a reason to stay too, as far as
Not for
personal
nothing, they
development.
were building a whole facility geared towards
That's what I
Angel
was going to
Reese,
get into
man.
her.
Come on. Like, y'all
BD,
tripping. She forced
you're
herself
100,
out.
BD,
No,
you're 100.
nobody's tripping to have a difference of opinion. Nobody's tripping.
BD, you're 100% right, because up until that point, I had heard from some folks that they were bringing an all-star game to keep her, that they were potentially changing ownership to keep her, and that they were building a practice facility. So there was no way in hell she was ever going to leave or ever going to get traded. That's what I was hearing up until
Think
that
about
point.
that. They were building a practice facility geared
Yes, it was.
specifically for her.
And you know how we know it's true? You know how we know it's true? Because as soon as she's gone from the team, you don't hear shit about the practice facility no
But
more.
guess
Not
what?
nothing.
Go ahead.
She did not force her
That
way
is true.
out.
That is true, though.
That is true. They wanted to keep her. But guess what? Jeff Paglioccia, the GM, did not want to keep her.
I disagree, Tiffy, but you can entitled to your opinion. I disagree. That's not what the facts said.
Let her finish, because we really, at the end of the day, we really don't know.
We don't know 100%. We don't know 100%. That's for sure. Jeff never wanted Angel in Chicago. That's a fact.
Nah, that never bothered me, because a lot of people.
Hold on, AL504. You hold on, baby girl. I'm
she's on the panel?
Too. No, she said something in the panel. I mean, in the chat. You hold on. I'm holding on because I love basketball and I love to see these ladies play. But I do not like what they're doing to our players. Hold on tight. Change is coming. Okay, go ahead, Tiffy.
Yeah, Angel was Teaspoon's pick, right?
Yeah.
Jeff got rid of Teaspoon. He got rid of Angel's closest. Before he got rid of Teaspoon, he got rid of Angel's closest teammate, Kaiser. Then he got rid of Teaspoon. Then he got rid of Kennedy. A GM who wants to keep their star player happy is not going to get rid of all of her closest people. That's why I said as soon as they traded Angel, Camilla's next, right? Jeff did not want these players. The players that he wanted were J.C. Sheldon and Rakia Jackson, and he wanted Sloot back. That's why he got rid of Teaspoon. He wanted Sloot back. So as soon as he brought in Sloot, and when Sloot came in, Sloot said she was there for Camilla. She ain't never once said she was going to be doing all these extra Y and Z's with Angel. They didn't get along, fine, whatever. But at the end of the day, right, Jeff Paglioccia, the same way that he talked about Kennedy Carter at the end of the 2024 season was the same way that he talked about Angel at the end of the 2025 season. The writing was on the wall. Angel did not force her way out of it, but I will say I knew she was going to be traded because as soon as Shaquille O'Neal, the New York Times, you had The Athletic, everybody was writing, the USA Today, everybody was writing these articles saying that what Chicago Sky did was effed up and calling them out. They could not withstand that microscope. And Sloot admitted that.
So Tiffy, why is it that even ESPN Alexis Filippo agrees that see, you listen to that Kendra thing. That Kendra thing was a lie. That was just to make Chicago look good. It was actually reported, and I had known this before it was officially reported, that Angel's agent went to Chicago and asked for a trade, but they wanted to be quietly shopped. See, if Angel's people didn't say do this quietly, then we wouldn't even be having this discussion. We would all know. It's kind of like Angel's earnings, right? We can speculate what her earnings are, but the thing is, her team doesn't care about us knowing. If they was to put those numbers out there, then we can go, yeah, she's making $30 million a year. But for whatever her reason, her team is private. They don't like to put stuff out there, and that's their choice. But BD brought up a great point. You wouldn't bring the All-Star game, do the facility, and talk about changing ownership just to get rid of Angel. That doesn't make any sense. And as Uncle J.E. said, Angel was never going to play for Chicago again. So whether Jeff wanted to trade her or not, she wasn't going to play for Chicago again. After that half-game suspension, she could have played those last 10 games. Everybody goes with this story about her back. There was nothing wrong with her back because she played in New York. I was at that game. For whatever reason, she played at New York and she played at Washington, where, closest to her. She played those two games. The rest of the games, she didn't play. And the reason why she didn't play there, because she had, from what I understand, she was never going to play for Chicago or Jeff again. She wanted to leave when Teaspoon got traded, but they got Tyler Marsh, and Tyler Marsh said, I'm coming just for you. He knew her in high school. He knew her in college. He could tell her about herself. And she was like, okay, I'll stay for him. So that was the only reason why she stayed. Other people report, I don't know this, at the fact that she was supposed to get traded to Atlanta last year. To your question, well, why didn't she get traded before when this first happened? But one thing for sure, she hated the teaspoon thing, so they pacified her with Tyler Marsh. So then Jeff did the crazy thing early in the year with the article, but once that half-game suspension took place, everything that I could see, Tiffy, everything that I could see, Angel was never going to play another game for Chicago again. And as far as Jeff, I get sick and tired of hearing about Jeff didn't want her. Not only was Jeff not the general manager when Teaspoon picked Cardoza and Angel, he acknowledged that he's an idiot. This dude has no experience being a general manager, so he can think whatever he wants. He's not a general manager. Most good teams, if they pick a good player, it doesn't matter who picked the player. They just take credit for the player, because a lot of times people are not 100% on a player in an organization. The owner may feel one way, this person may feel that way, and then the owner is like, well, if you want him, pick him. And in the back of your mind, you're saying, well, if I'm wrong, that's my job. But if the person's a great player, then everybody goes, great, let's get that player. It's kind of like LA, right? Everybody says that Magic Johnson, who's really a figurehead, and Kurt, who was the actual GM or the coach, whatever he was at the time, they wanted Angel, but Jeannie Buss, who don't know shit about basketball except being born to her father, right? She was like, oh, let's get Cam Briggs because she's a blonde and she's from California. Well, guess what? No one's going to fire Jeannie Buss, but because of how she dealt with LeBron by keeping him those extra years, because she just wanted to hang around Bron and the Bronny mess, one of the minority owners offered her enough money to buy them out because they were sick and tired of the dumb shit that she was doing. But Jeff is 10 times dumber than Jeannie Buss, and he don't own shit. But that's because we know the organization just likes to be run poorly. But I remember at the time, Broclaw and everybody else was saying there was no way in hell she could get out of Chicago because too many fans loved her. So
MSL.
What's up, Edie?
I want to let Miss D speak for a minute.
Okay, I'll be quick.
I want to let Miss D speak, and then you can speak, BD, because she haven't said a whole lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss D.
Yes.
Okay, girl. What do you think?
I think both is true. I think and after a while, I think Angel wanted out. And Tiffy got it right. She probably, Sloop became like the general manager basically. And so whatever Sloop said, and she kind of took over the team, not only from
and for the record, Misty, and I'm not saying anything about you. I was saying that last year or the year before when no one was saying that Sloot was the one who made all the picks, et cetera, and so forth like that. And
I agree with that. She got. I guess Jeff told her you could basically
because Jeff ain't no shit. He was stupid, so he used her as
and
his.
She don't know anything either, and you can see how she wasn't.
And that's why he used Angel as HVL. He's an idiot. That's why I never take Jeff seriously. He's
Hold
a
up.
fucking idiot. Part of my language.
I thought all y'all were Angel Reese gurus. Y'all forget about who y'all speaking of. Like y'all
Miss
think
D
y'all
didn't
gonna
even finish, guys. Miss D didn't finish. Miss D, were you finished, Queen?
Okay, that like I said, BD's part is true, and so is Tiffy. But like I said, after a while, she wanted to leave because all these things kept happening to her. The hip pieces, suspension, the issues with Sloot. But I also think she wanted to stay because she said she liked Chicago. She liked the city. She just wanted to.
Don't mean you like the team.
Yeah, but I think she felt comfortable. But like I said, after a while, I think she said, you know what? If they trade me, I'm not gonna be. No.
Miss D, I love you, Miss D. But let's remember.
Let her Miss D. You better let Miss D finish.
ADP.
Oh, you gonna be on the Wingstop list.
Go ahead. But I'm talking with her. It's interactive.
You have a lot of Wingstop.
Hold on. Let me just say
Go
this.
Ahead.
But
Go ahead,
like I said, so like Tiffy and BD was right. At one point, yes, she wanted to stay, but she was kind of pushed out in a way. Like you said, like Tiffy said, Sloot was acting like a jerk, and Jeff wanted that because Jeff didn't like her. It wasn't his pick before Sloot became to the team, back to the team. So both could be correct, but yeah, they built the facility, and now you don't hear much about it. They're still gonna build it, but it's supposed to be in Angel's vision. But yeah.
So you build a facility for someone you want to get rid of. Does that make sense, Misty?
Well, look, and whatever.
After a while, remember what Tiffy said about Sloot. Sloot took over. Sloot took over that team.
And no, she did. No, she did. But the problem with Sloot was Sloot couldn't get rid of Angel. That was the problem. Sloot couldn't get. Remember.
Well, they did.
Can I just say this one thing before I lose my thought?
Go ahead.
You can't slap the franchise in the face and then expect her to go have dinner with you.
Yeah.
Well, not only that,
after they slapped her in the face, i.e., suspended her.
Why would you stay?
What other choice did she have? What good face could they have told her after that?
I think, like I said, I think Sloot.
Yeah, she'd be a fool, especially arguably the most powerful player in the league.
Okay, hold on. Let me say this, Petey. Let me say this. I will say this. Yeah, they slapped her in the face, but Sloot caused all that drama. I think if Sloot wasn't there, even as bad as Jeff was, she would still be there.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No,
absolutely not. They slapped her in the face and then told her to sit down.
No, a lot of it was Sloot. Sloot caused a lot of that drama.
No, it started with Teaspoon, and once she realized that Tyler Marsh wasn't going to stand up for himself or stand up to Jeff and stand up to Sloot, she realized, and they were able to attack her in the press, and they didn't say anything. She was gone. She was gone. I agree with BD on this.
I don't know when it started. I just know when she got suspended, it was game over because Angel Reese, was like, look, I'm your franchise and you just slapped me in my face, but then you want to take me to dinner? Huh?
That was
listen, guys, listen. It's like I'm listening in a circle. Please give each other respect. Please let Ms. D finish.
But you know how...
And then you can pick... And then you guys can piggyback off of it. Let Ms. D finish, guys.
SBD is not even Jacob. Look, we all talking.
No, Jacob was asking me not to speak for a change.
Yeah, because we were trying to listen. We were trying to listen to what Ms. D was saying. So I was just saying, let her finish, and then you can piggyback off of it. But when everybody's talking in the circle, I'm going in the circle. like Keisha be saying, turn around in the circle. I'm feeling some type of way. Okay,
right.
Can we keep it respectful, guys, and let Miss D talk? And remember, again, these are people's opinions of how they feel. That doesn't make one opinion better than the other, and that doesn't make it right or the truth. If I didn't drop it in the video, or we didn't see it on social, this is their personal opinions of how they feel and what they think. Go ahead, Ms. D.
No, I'm saying Sloot made it worse. I think if Sloot was never in the picture, kind of stirring up the pot even worse than what it was, I think she still would have been there. He would have had no choice. He already kind of messed up even before Angel left by trading all those draft picks. You see what the draft picks are doing now for the Washington Mystics. So, like I said, it just made it worse. Sloot. As his friend, he let his friend run the team. You can still see her remnants in there by paying E-Will and all that type of stuff and bringing in players that, even though they're good together, they're not good together as veterans. But go ahead. That's all I want to say.
See, everything you said, Ms. D, is why I think Angel wanted to leave, right? Because remember, she's been talking to Kai Copper, Gabby Williams, etc., from 2024. And she was all these All-Star games, all these USA things. She's getting information. They were all shopping her. Last year, Phoenix was putting up videos with her early in the year. Other teams were doing it. Like, everybody thought they had a shot at Angel. It was the most happening, least disgusting in the WNBA. But for those who followed Angel, we knew, and apparently BD, whether he followed her or not, maybe he did, he knew as well. So it wasn't a surprise and a shock. And after that suspension, the thing that people forget, Angel stopped talking to the team. not only did she pull everything off the internet, Tiff, she stopped talking to the team. She didn't talk to Jeff anymore. She didn't talk to the ownership anymore. She was done. So the question that I asked for those who say they pushed her out, how is that possible when Angel didn't want to deal with the team and she stopped talking? Angel only spoke to the team to her agent. So if you're speaking only through your agent, that means you don't want to be on the team anymore. Is that not the case? ADP?
Oh, hold on. Let me say with T Love, you are correct. And when you have those type of people that have your back, you know you good. We just gotta wait. We just gotta wait for it.
BD, check your Discord. I don't know why you didn't check your Discord.
Momo, calm down. T Love said Michelle Obama spoke about protecting Angel Reese. Yes, she did on her show. That was a good show too.
But I'm saying even before that, when she got suspended, not only did she take down anything associated with Chicago on her website, she stopped speaking to Jeff P. and management, period. And she only spoke to them through her agent. So my question is, not that this is a big deal, because at the end of the day, she's gone, right? But why would she want to stay to a team where she didn't want to talk to them anymore? And the other thing you got to remember is when her trade was announced, it was announced the first day it could be announced. And I had mentioned this before. You notice Chicago did not control that announcement. It was Taylor Rooks, a friend of Angel. It was the Atlanta Dream that was involved. And you didn't hear anything leak officially from Chicago, right? All the hit pieces from Chicago came after the fact, not before the fact. If Jeff was the one who initiated that trade, he would have trashed Angel the weeks precipitating that trade to make it have more effect. But the fact that Chicago didn't say a word, that means Angel was holding the power in that trade, because you didn't hear a peep out of Chicago, and it was only Atlanta and people associated with Angel who announced and ran that trade. Jeff P. was silent, had nothing to say, because I think she went above Jeff's head. I think she went to the league. Her management went to the league, or they could have just threatened Alter and said, look, you got a lot of skeletons in the closet. Maybe that's why the whole lawsuit came up, right? Because John Major, if I'm saying his last name correctly, I may not, they were like, hey, this guy's stealing money. Hey, this, right? Because Angel and her people got a lot of people in high places. So maybe those were a couple of people that would tap, because that's what was being insinuated by podcasts, right? It was a combination of them begging Angel to stay with the practice facility. They say the league gave the All-Star game she was going to stay, and then new ownership was going to take over. And I remember what I thought, and I'm sure BD thought it. I said, well, new ownership is not going to help, because I'm not leaving in the middle of the season to F up my stats. If that's going to happen, it's going to happen before the season. And there's no way ownership could take place that quickly. And guess what? Angel left anyway, despite all these people saying that she was going to stay, because they were doing everything they could to keep her. I never thought she was going to stay, because I had already known she stopped associating with the team.
My thing is, you build a practice facility catered towards one person, even though it's a whole team. But you know, and I know who that practice facility was for. You don't invest that kind of money in a person that then go tell them, F you, go sit down. And then expect that person to come back and be like, oh, it wasn't nothing. We could work it out. Nah, not when you the franchise. I could see if she was a role player, she probably would have had to eat that if she was a role player. But we talking about Angel Reese, like she can't make a couple of phone calls. After they suspended her, it was a wrap. I knew that, and I'm a Liberty fan. I don't follow the sky. I don't know these names as intimately as you guys do, but I know real recognize real. And that was some real shit.
I like Bernadine. I like what you said. She said they turned on Angel and it was clear as day. She was good to Chicago and her teammates until they turned on her. And Bernadine, the reason why I read what you said is because they're doing the exact same thing to Camila Cardoso. And if you guys saw it, you saw it. You saw when Camila had her moment and she broke down in that bench, and you seen nobody consoling her or nobody around her. Hold on. It's okay, Moo. Nobody around her to, console her. Nothing like that. So you see it.
Well, the mental health thing, that has to start with the players, because like I mentioned earlier, The owners ain't thinking about nobody mental health. Once they sign that contract, these players become
I don't care about
commodities.
that.
They're not
I
people
don't care about
anymore.
that. I
And
don't
not
care about that. A player can't. If a player needs, yes, they can start it with themselves, but they also need help.
and not
When
only
No,
you're in
I,
that,
a,
I
when
but
know
you're
they
in a,
need
when
help.
you're
I'm
in a,
just
when
saying
you're in
where it should
when you're
start from.
when you're in a mental state, um, and you're gonna reach out. Like Camille, I played that yesterday. Did I play it yesterday or the day before? She said that they're doing the best they can. They got therapists. They they got their village or family or whatever and stuff like that. Where she was saying that she had to stop talking to a therapist, and her therapist was helping her with that, because when you get into W, you're having about at least 3 games a week or 2 games a week, and she would go run into the next game, and her mental be thinking about the same thing that she messed up on, or she didn't have a good game. So she had to learn how to deal with it.
Well, I
So
know for
yes,
well,
Miller, it's a little. I know for
they are taking the proper precautions for their mental health. They still need people around them to uplift them and be there for them as they're going through. We understand the league does not. We understand that the league is money over people. I mean, that's been the thing forever. We get that. But we can't say that it's just on that person. That person, if they're seeking for help and people see that it happened and they don't help, far as I'm saying, like the people around, or what I'm saying, they're seeing this happen, that can go over there quicker than we can as fans that are not making a difference or turning the blind eye. Then everybody, if anything happens to Angel Reese, Kennedy Carter, Camilla Cardoso, you are part of that situation too. You're part of the blame. So I get it, BD. We know it's money over people. But when somebody is going through mental health, trust and believe, yes, they can still take it upon themselves and still need other help.
but to BD's point pertaining to Chicago about not caring, AL504 has said to me in the chat that Angel wasn't their franchise player. And then I retorted to her and said by that measure, there's no such thing as a franchise player in Chicago because they never want anybody. And then she said, bingo. Chicago has been doing this with Elena Deladon, with Sylvia Fowles, etc., with Williams, with Courtney Williams, with Gabby Williams, etc. This is not the first rodeo for Chicago. And Angel was well aware of this because she was speaking to Courtney. Remember, she was hanging with Courtney Williams and her partner, during the All-Star game, last year. They were hanging together. They said they like Angel. They really like Angel. She was speaking to Gabby when Gabby was saying, oh, they did me wrong. They did me wrong. Angel knew the whole background, the whole history. I'm sure Sylvia Fowles probably creeped up in her chat or got her number and called her and told her. Angel wasn't no shrinking violet that had no idea that was going on. She knew exactly what she was dealing with. And as prideful as she is, as strong as she is, I think when Jeff trashed her like that and gave that half-game suspension, I think there was no way she was going to stay. Her spirit was broken in the sense where there's no reason why I would ever want to stay on this team again because there's nothing here for me. And for anyone who thinks that Angel would stay at Chicago, that almost sounds like a Stockholm syndrome thing to me. And that's not Angel, because guess what? If Atlanta doesn't treat Angel well, she'll leave
She
it.
gonna
She'll
do the
leave
same
it too.
thing. Yeah, she'll force her way out of there too.
Guys,
But
we're gonna get ready to do our final thoughts on everything. And AC, I'm quite sure it was after the fact, but in that moment, there was nobody there to console her in that moment.
That's how it looked to me.
And even if you console them after, that's okay if you did it after or before. But there was a big difference from. It's a
Yeah, it
difference.
wasn't a good. It
You just
wasn't a good
you
visual.
just know. You know what I'm saying? Certain things. That doesn't mean. I look at in the moment. People could look at it different. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go by what I saw. Okay, I'll go by what I saw
And
in the
if
moment
Angel was on that team,
that
you would not have seen that
Camilla.
visual.
Right, in the moment, right, that Camilla was going through that moment. Nobody in that moment, let's say in the moment instead of the overall game, in that moment, nobody consoled her. So it was a big difference. I see the same cycle that they're doing to Miller that they did to Angel, and this not to say that the players are against Miller or they don't like Miller. I'm just saying in that moment.
It was a
In that
terrible,
moment, they
terrible,
did not.
terrible
In that
visual. It was a
moment, they
terrible
did
visual.
not console Camila Cardoso in that moment.
It was a terrible
And
visual,
maybe
ADP.
everybody do stuff different. Maybe because we assume everybody getting along, but they may get along more with Sydney than they do Camilla. We don't know, so their reactions may be different. Or you know how you cool with people, those type of it could be different. You know what I'm saying? How they react, like they may not react the same way they act to see it, or they may not react the same way with Camilla. They might have different ways they act with different players. So I'm not speaking up for them, and I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, in that moment, nobody did that.
But to
That's when,
BD,
and that's when you really want to get in that moment right there. Unless now I could go on to say, unless Miller, when she's like that, she has to be, what I'm saying, to be left alone. But I don't know if that's true or not, because when Angel was on the team and Miller was going through, every single time Angel had Miller's back, especially in that presser. And what we can erase, when people got chemistry, you can't fake it. When people real and genuine with each other, you cannot fake it. The best time you can see it is when you sit up there and you watch those pressers over and over again, or them doing more presses, you see a difference. So I'm just saying, if if the other twin towers there, I'm quite sure, no, without a doubt, she
that
would
would not have been the visual.
and could console Miller in that
Not
moment.
not only would
So
that not have been,
they could have did it outside of that. I heard the only person that did was Skylar, but I could be wrong with that too. I haven't researched it, so I can't vouch for all the players. But in that moment, nobody was there. But
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 sorry, ADP, but not only
yeah,
would that not have been the visual, but to BD's argument, when have we ever seen the Chicago Sky ever do anything right or act like they care about their players? From the moment Angel came to the team, right? She had did what, a press conference in a gymnasium. When she had made the All-Star team, they gave her some, Pathmark cake that wasn't even that big. It looked like it was like 6 inches across or something like that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So even if you can say, well, hey, the proper counseling is behind the scenes, maybe not. But as far as the visuals, just doing things right that people expect a first class organization to do, that is not Chicago, and it's never been Chicago. So whether someone spoke to her behind the scenes or not, Chicago never seems to do the right thing. And that's why they're historically voted the worst run franchise by players in the WNBA. And that's the stuff that we always have to remember. We're trying to give Chicago the benefit of the doubt or to give them grace,
well,
but it's only
and
one of two
then
things.
too, they have if it depends. They have the good. What, baby? They have the good. They have the players. Now the players they brought, they have the players. It's
You
just
mean in general or this year?
it's just that it's just for me. I'm speaking for me. It's just the front office. But they have the players where they can actually do some things. But
But they're 4-12 right now, and they have players.
But you'll be, you know what, Emma said, you'll be surprised when a different person is running the ship.
But that's our whole point. It's not a well-run organization. So why would you want to
that's what I'm
stay?
saying. That's why
Why would you want to stay in a poorly run organization that doesn't treat you right when every player you've spoken to has told you that this organization sucks?
What I'm thinking is, when you have decisions like that, you can't just base it on I want to move. These players have families, they have responsibilities. Although we want them to move sometimes the way we want them to move, you don't know what else behind closed doors they got to take care of. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know, but we're gonna do final thoughts now.
And real quick, ADP, I'll say this real quick. You know how we also know that Chicago didn't generate this trade? Riddle me this, Batwoman. How is it that and this was from No Cap Space and a couple of others, that Dallas offered Ogawane, Arike, and at least 3 number ones, maybe a 4th number one, right? Because they had set Enrique 3 number ones and then some, right? And then all of a sudden, she chooses to go to Atlanta at the last minute because apparently Smesco called her and said, why are you going to Dallas when you could come here and I could help develop you in this, that. Presumably that call came through Ryan and Leash. But Smesco called her at the last minute, and we know this is true because on that day of USA Basketball, they made their first Pagel video, which I've said many times, where Paige laughed in the video when they signed off and said, oh, don't worry about it. We're going to be on the same team 2 weeks from now. So how is it that Chicago traded Angel and they wanted to trade when Angel was the one who ended up going to the team that was perfect for her that offered less draft picks? That means Chicago was not holding the power for that trade. And I know a lot of us, we think white people this and they run this and they run that. And sometimes we got Stockholm syndrome or we got post-slavery mentality and all of that stuff. But it doesn't mean that, as BD is saying, someone who has power, however she works it, who has power and who has influence can get themselves out of that situation. I knew it was going to happen. BG knew it was going to happen. Other people knew it was going to happen. People in this chat knew it was going to happen. And it did. Because if Chicago controlled that trade, then how the hell did they turn down 3 number ones in Enrique?
Well, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's
at the end of the day, we don't
look.
At the end of the day, everybody gonna have their opinions. But one thing I kept saying through all of the whole situation from last year to this year is that God has the final say, and He know when you tired. I know from being a witness, when I'm tired, I'm going through something, and when I say I'm completely tired and worn out, that's when He come in and He show out, baby. So I'm gonna say this, you know, people can try to stop you from what, you know, the gifts and the blessings you have, but they can't do it. Not with God in it. BD, what's your final thoughts?
I'm sorry. You got to give me 1 second.
Oh, I got to give you 1 second for your final thoughts, BD.
I think he's doing something, ADP. I think that's what he means.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to close and then have him come?
Yeah, you can go ahead and what's your final thoughts on far as okay, guys, so this is the thing. This is what can improve the officiating, right? Referee training, evaluation throughout the season, increase accountability for missed calls and inconsistent standards, use data to identify patterns in technical fouls, flagrant fouls, and players' interaction, communicate rule interpretations clearly to players, coaches, and fans, strengthen anti-harassment policies, create clear standards for player-to-player conduct, address repeated personal attacks, whether on the court or through media, ensure all, not some, all players know how to report concerns confidential. Apply discipline consistently, regardless of player status or popularity. Expand mental health support. You provide the access. You have it on the paper, but expand it more than just that, right? For me. Offer resources for handling social media harassment. Support players dealing with intense public scrutiny and criticism. Encourage teams to make mental health wellness part of the player development. What, baby?
I want to find charger.
Okay, I'll get it. Address online abuse. Work with social media platforms to identify threats and harassment. Increase consequences for abusive fan behavior, educate fans on respectful engagement, okay? Publicly support players who become targets of online attacks, promote respectful competition, celebrate rivalries without encouraging personal attacks, teach your young players and veterans how to compete fiercely while respecting opponents. Highlight examples of sportsmanship alongside competitive moments. Create a safe reporting channel. With this channel, allow players to report concerns about harassment, discrimination, or bullying without fear of retaliation. And because a lot of players do not feel safe with doing that, with the situations that have happened in the past, such as a De'Erica Hamby or Candace Wiggins, right? They sometimes they don't want to do that. Use independent reviews when serious complaints arise. Keep investigations transparent while protecting the player's privacy. Examine bias and stereotypes. Provide training on unconscious bias for league staff, officials, and teams. Recognize how race, gender, and cultural stereotypes can influence perceptions of emotions and leadership. Sorry, guys. Ensure all players are judged by the same standard. Oh man, Jesus, when you coming? Okay, never mind. Question for the podcast discussion is that do you, at the end of the day, guys, do you feel like the players are comfortable with reporting the bullying and harassment from the refs to the players?
Yes, because we live in 2026 where everybody has a social media account of some sort. Yes, absolutely. These players don't have no problem saying what they're going to say. You got to remember the W is an activist league.
Yes, it
I
is.
don't know
I'm just
too
saying,
many
yeah, I'm
players in
just
the
asking
W
for
who's
your,
not going to
to include
They're
in your
trying to
final
neuter
say what
that.
they're going to say.
Even though they're trying to neuter that.
Emma said, let BD finish his final thoughts and then you go.
No, I'm just saying, like, yeah, the W are activist league. These women going to speak their mind, whether you like it or not. So to answer your question, yes. But I want to talk about Miller real quick. 'Cause I've been hard on Miller all year long. Like, I've been really hard on Miller because she in year 3 and you were a lottery pick. And I ain't feel like Miller was producing, or better yet, playing as hard as she could be playing, right? But the off the court stuff for Miller, I ain't never really think about until just now, until you brung it up. Because I understand her situation probably is a lot different than everybody else's. One, she a foreigner. Two, English isn't her first language. And three, she's hundreds of miles away from her family. Not, a flight to Brazil is different from a flight to Florida. You understand what I'm saying? And then you got the immigration laws that's in this country now that are all out of whack. So that probably make it even harder for her to like have good connection with her family, because at the end of the day, everybody needs a support system, right? And it's probably a little harder for Miller to get the support she need. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the traveling. Like, that's not an easy trip from Brazil to here and back all the time. So I do hope Miller do get some kind of help or seek some kind of help, outside help that's not, Chicago Sky help. You understand what I'm
Well,
saying?
Miller's been doing therapy. She's been doing therapy and stuff to help her too. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
because
When I played the
I know
video
she
yesterday,
comes
I
with
don't
a
know if it was from, it started from South Carolina, but I know that it showed that she definitely was doing, while she's with Chicago. So
right. I know she been in the States for a while, but you gotta understand she come from a whole nother culture. They
yeah, I know
completely
Brazil.
different.
Yeah, and they and listen, we might not see it because I was trying to look it up. I got to go on socials and see. And one thing I know about Brazilians, they don't play. They don't play about their family. They don't play. They
Nah,
don't
not at
play.
all.
They don't play. They
They
are
very
good
tribal.
people. They are good people, but they don't play. They don't play about they good
Nah,
people.
Brazilians are tribal as hell.
Very good people.
Yeah, they very tribal people, and it's a whole different culture. So, just the culture shock Miller had to go through, being an SC, being around a whole bunch of Americans, probably most of them didn't speak any Spanish. You understand what I'm saying?
It's
So, like,
no, she speaks Portuguese, and Portuguese is different from
yeah,
totally
Portuguese,
different
my
from
bad. Yeah, it's different.
Spanish. Now Portuguese now some stuff a little bit, just a very little bit of it is you could twist it to like milk latte. You can do like that's kind of like the same in Portuguese, but
Right.
for the Portuguese language.
But that's what I meant to say. Portuguese.
It's not hard to learn because I'm learning it, and then some stuff I learned with my students and stuff like that. So it just has a little twist, great twist to it. But yeah.
Now I dig it. It's a romance language like French and Italian, Spanish.
Oh no, they
Portuguese.
say French. I didn't try French, BD, but they say French is the toughest one.
And ADP, don't forget, Jacob is still on the panel, and I'm not sure if he wants to say anything.
Jacob just be listening. Jacob just be listening, let everybody get a chance because he be trying to hear everybody out. So if Jacob want to say something, I like Jacob. Jacob will let you know when he wants to say something.
Well, that's
Hey. I'm just gonna say this real quick. I have a few things to say. That's it. And if the chat doesn't like it, then they can go ahead.
It's not no language and you're not going off. You can have your opinion.
Well, nobody ever has a problem with what you say. It's how you say it, Jacob.
Yeah.
Oh man, no. Hey, I'm not gonna be nice about it. I don't give a damn.
Well, you can't say it then. If you're not gonna be nice about it,
all right, I'll put it nicely.
No language, please.
I'll put it nicely then. Carl Smesco, you need to get the panties out of your ass and defend Angel and your team. Stop being a softie. And also, Tiffy Cole isn't here, so I can't say this to her because I was gonna ask her something about the Carl Smesco, but she's not here. So
yeah, Tiff said, She's like, I'm used to being.
What color are his panties, Jacob? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Are they pink?
And your play.
Yeah, guys, we got I know that is a game going on tonight, and I know Keisha Nam is coming on at 7. I think 7 o'clock, guys. I think they're coming on at 7. So, I know I said final thoughts 10 minutes ago. I guess we're doing benediction, America, because but yeah. So
that's what big girl.
BD, was that your final thoughts or whatever? Because really, we gotta see. Really, we gotta see what happens. You know what I'm saying at this point? Because I don't want to watch another game like that. But I know it's gonna be so many games that's gonna.
Yeah, last night's game wasn't enjoyable. After a while, it wasn't enjoyable.
It was just too much, and we're watching for support, but it was like too much. There's a difference. If you're gonna let them play, just let them play.
I think there's only one. I think there's only one game tonight. That's the Liberty at the Aces at 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
10 o'clock New York. 10 o'clock New York time.
They're calling that game. Thank you, AC. I appreciate it. I'll be trying to get in there because I was like, we need an emergency fan meeting because everybody was able to get how they felt, even though we can agree and disagree, or whatever. And at the end of the day, we don't actually know. We can assume everything, but far as the feelings, the mental side, we can vouch for that because they have spoke on it. So there are receipts for that part. But for everything else, about the deal with Angel and all that great stuff, we can only go by what we think happened or whatever. So we will see with what Carl does. Like Kappa, he came in here and he said,
"What did Kappa was on the panel?
People don't see what, and that's
Kappa was on the panel. ADP?
No, he was in the chat, but he was saying people don't see behind closed doors, especially when they're at the games and got them front seats. She Williams was so close in the game yesterday. Like if she could see them them players. They ain't little, but she was just that close. And when you're at the game, you can actually see for yourself what is, the eye test. You can actually do a lot of eye tests when you're at the game. And some stuff we'll see on TV, but some stuff is just better when you see it up close.
I was told that he does. I was told that he does talk to the quote unquote chagrin of, a lot of people who don't like him. Is that what Captain She Wins was intimating, ADP?
No, the Kappa was saying that he do be talking to the refs and stuff like that. And I saw that yesterday. I saw him. That's a thing they use in sports. We know that. Everybody knows that they be talking in the ear. And I said, if he hadn't been talking that in the ear at least a little bit, guys, it probably would have been worse than yesterday.
And they did kind of like reverse those calls at the end of the game or eat their whistles, right? Because it got very confusing at the end. Angel should have been thrown out. And then on that jump ball, she mushed homegirl on her head. She should have been thrown out for that because that would have been her 6th foul. If the other one, if the hit in the face wasn't the 6th foul. But she actually stayed in the game some way, somehow was able to finish the game. Now, some people may argue, well, hey, that was Smesco fighting for her. But the problem is the refs could give Angel that at the very, very, very end of the game.
It's big,
it was
see,
earlier in the game when he should have fought before she shot 4 for 12.
It's bigger than some things. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than what you think when it comes to a phenomenal player in person, because we got to remember the players are human as well. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than the politics. It's bigger than that. When people think that they can't be touched, they mess around and find out when they mess with the wrong one.
ADP, I said this before, and BD is here. So BD, if he disagrees, he can comment. I think the thing that's being overlooked, and I said this another time, Angel is so strong that she gets optimum position a lot of time in front of the basket, right? Either on an offensive rebound or an offensive set. And normally in basketball, when you get that position and you seal and you get the ball, unless it's a clear block shot, you normally get the benefit of the doubt when you seal someone that close to the basket. But she's sealing people in the optimum spot, taking the shot, getting hacked, and she's not getting a call for it, which is crazy. I mean, in the other Toronto game, she had Mabry, a guard, hit her from behind, right? And normally if you get sealed, you seal a guard and you go up and they swipe you, that's a foul call. But we get so used to these calls not being fouled on Angel, we think it's normal, but this is not normal. When you get when you get that position, you should be rewarded for that position, and she's not being rewarded. It's not like she's taking a shot off balance 10 feet away from the basket, or she's not going straight up, or she's doing what she's supposed to do and not getting rewarded for it.
I agree and disagree.
You guys, it's bigger than all of that. I keep telling you, it's bigger than all of that. And they say keep it. It's bigger than that. And we just gotta keep keep watching, keep everything in prayer, and just continue on our platforms. BD got his platform.
No, we have to, because hopefully it will penetrate the zeitgeist, or somebody more famous picks it up.
I did want to say this though. When in a basketball sense, this is just purely basketball. The big never gets that call when they trying to get position. The big typically never gets that call. Shaq never got that call. He got fouled a ton. He never got that call. The jockey and position call, never got that. I don't expect Angel Reese to get that call, because they don't never call that for anybody really. And we all see that she is getting beat up, right? But they just don't typically call that.
BD.
Now, the calls I have an issue with is when she go to the basket and she getting hit. You understand what I'm saying? And you're not calling those fouls. That's crazy.
BD, I don't disagree with that. But in last night's game,
though, you're not going to get those calls.
But in last night's game, everyone else that initiated their offense in the post got the call.
Okay, Jackie said it's not affecting her mental where it stopped her performance, but I know it bothers her just like it bothers us. I know, Jackie. I know. But yeah, guys, this was a great conversation. If we keep saying final thoughts, guys, we ain't gonna get to those final thoughts.
Right, we ain't gonna get to a final thought because we got a whole bunch of thoughts.
This right, BD, because this is a big topic, and when you have big topics like this, you can use the run-ons to come back and run it back. I don't know. I may go on. I may be on D Block tonight. It just depends how everything go up in the house. As far as me being, a little tired because I got some stuff I got to do. But yeah, I wish you guys to have a great day. Thank you for coming on the panel. I'll probably Keisha.
Thank you,
The
ADP. Thank you,
game
Miss B. I
is
know you're
late,
not there,
guys.
Jacob.
Yeah,
Tiffy Cole.
so that game is late for the Aces. I think it's 10 p.m. So the players will be playing that, and I think Keisha and Duvall is getting ready to come on. So I'll probably be in the chat a little bit or whatever. And yeah, Brian, you're right. Hey, Tony. Hey, girl. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, I work, but I still can go up there for some time, like I always do. Yeah, so Tony will be going live tomorrow, guys. You know Tony do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so we'll be over there in your chat, Tone. But yeah, but everybody had great points, even if it's agreed to disagree. BD came up here. He wasn't on his let's just say BD, he did all right today, America. He did all right. He's still a stepbrother, but he did all right today. But yeah, so we're gonna go catch Keisha now if you guys have time. And then we'll watch the game with them tonight. But yeah, guys, make sure you stay safe. We will continue this conversation because we have to, guys. If we keep talking about it, keep posting, that's how you make change. You don't sit back and watch somebody else get treated like this, because you never know. It could be one of your family members. This is why it takes, yes, they are celebrities, they're athletes. We love them, right? But you also got to take in consideration they're human. So, period. I ain't had time to sketch and stuff like that because I got some stuff. I got some art stuff I got to be sending off this week. Or whatever. So Tony, can you now I know I'm doing Chase for Noah for Keisha. So I was thinking I was gonna do Paw Patrol for him, paint a Paw Patrol for him for your grandson too. But I think I'm moving towards dinosaurs because you said he loved dinosaurs. So I'm doing them on like 16 by 20s. So you let me know if you want the dinosaur for him or if you want Paw Patrol or whatever for them or stuff like that. Because I love doing stuff for the kids, guys. And it don't take nothing to draw and paint the characters. I just don't do it for sales or nothing because, that's their stuff. So I try to do more of creating or like players and stuff like that. Hey, Mr. Johnson, we get ready to get up. Dino, I knew it. Look, Tony, I was like, I'm gonna do Tony, baby. Paw Patrol, and then Lord said, no, she said he loved dinosaurs, girl. I got you, Queen. Yeah, Mr. Johnson, we get ready to get out of here. We've been up here 3 hours today.
ADP.
Yes, BD.
Do you do unicorns? Cause my daughter like unicorns.
Yeah, I can do your unicorn. What color she like unicorns?
Like are you familiar with My Little Pony?
Oh, I used to love My Little Pony. Chat, y'all know y'all used to love. Well, I'm just saying, not everybody. The men probably had the G.I. Joe and wrestling figures or whatever, basketballs. But yeah, I remember My Little Pony. She liked My Little Pony.
Okay, you remember the pony that was purple that had the star on his forehead? It was a unicorn. My Little Pony.
I have to go back and I have to go. You know the name of the pony?
Nah.
Or you just know what it looked like?
I just remember
it's for
what it
your
looked
baby.
like.
We ain't saying you be into it. We stand for your baby girl.
I don't remember the name of the pony, but it's purple. It got a star and a unicorn on a horn on the
Talking
head.
about Barney?
No, it's My Little Pony.
Oh, you said purple. I thought Barney. Sorry.
Look, My Little Pony MSL. Wait a minute. Hold on. I see. Is it Twilight? Is her name Twilight Sparkle?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
That's the one
hell.
I see with the unicorn horn.
Yeah, that is the one. It's the My Little Pony with the unicorn.
Oh, I think BD went out, didn't he? Okay. I got you, BD. I got you. Shirley, I hope so too. I hope that Angel knows that she has all this. Oh Jesus! You want some more chicken nugget meal? Oh no, I'm not fixing no. I'm not about that rice. I'm not about that life. Cause okay, what about pancakes? You in this mirror. Do you want pancakes to mingle with? Okay, baby. I'm gonna speak. Look, I'm gonna fix you a small thing of rice, and I declare, the more rice is on the floor today, you gonna keep cleaning it up. Okay, I'll fix you some. And you want some?
Let's go make some rice.
All right, ADP. I see you in the other chat.
Baby. Okay. Well, guys, yeah, we're gonna get out of here. BD, I got you on that. MSL, I will see you on the next one. I don't know. I may go D block. I don't know. But we're gonna get over there in our other chats. Thank you so much, MSL, for coming up here with your knowledge and your wisdom and how you be throwing down on the panel like the grill. Thank you, MSL. I appreciate it. And everybody that came up here. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Period.
See y'all.